Hope you guys have had your coffee or water, maybe some breakfast, depending on, how you work, how your life is, maybe some lunch or dinner, like all those good things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Bree. Good morning, Kayla. Good morning, Musicon. Good morning, Ruger. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Mr. Flinch. Good morning, Quite Violet. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Quinn. What up, Dwayne? Shout out to my brother, Dwayne. Shout out to my brother, Dwayne. All right. Good morning to Emma over on Instagram. Emma, how are you? Cameron over on Instagram, how are you? Good morning, good morning. We got Instagram rocking. We got Kick, Twitch. What up, Harry? I see you over on Kick. Guys, if you got a Kick, go follow my Kick. Go follow my Kick. It's Santana Speaks for You over on the old Kicky Kick. I see Jetta. Jetta's over on Kick as well. What up, Jetta? All right, it looks like we're locked in and we're G to G. Good morning, Jenna. Guys, as we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin, and we'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. If we can knock out the daily gift goal, which is the love you so much. Please, 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 can we knock out the love you so much? Share the live maybe once or twice. That'll help boost the live and push us out. But more than sharing the live, what's way more important than just sharing the live is share it to your stories, right? Right. Share it to your stories and share it to your repost, right? Put it on your repost will actually help put it on your FYP. So if there's anyone that's scrolling through and they land on your FYP, they're going to see me. And if they see me, they see us. And if they see us, then we made it. Mama, we made it. Guys, if they see me, they see us. And if they see us, we made it. So share it to your stories and share it to your reposts. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just one moment. But again, if you have not done so, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. It's only one coin and we'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 10,000 likes. I think that's it. Exile.
Yeah, funny how it changed now. Same people that laughed at clips, studying the clips now. Everybody got opinions till the facts land. Everybody loud till they gotta take a stand. Every stream feel like somebody betting they pride. I seen fake scholars fold in real time. Now they screenshot takes, run around and remix. Nah,
you stepped in the wrong room, donut.
This ain't rage bait.
This pressure.
Patriarchy, race, class, labor, healthcare.
I don't do
surface level. I peel layers, and every time they think they got me cornered, numbers go higher. Chat flyer mods working, crowd waiting. Somebody finna get good.
Shout out to the mods.
To the ring now. Yeah, talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down.
Welcome to the ring now.
Yeah, got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah.
Welcome to the ring now.
You ain't built for this.
Y'all slap nuts.
Ain't got milk for these oats.
Donuts.
So pipe down. Yeah, you might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. I don't debate for applause. I debate for the record. Every false claim get dissected and severed. You rehearsed outrage. I studied the structure. Difference between noise and somebody with substance. You quote tweets, I quote policy. You want moments, I want honesty. You want ego boost and virality. I want mutual aid. A stronger communities. That's the difference between you and me. See the problem? Different type timing. You came for clips, I came for alignment. Capital this, socialism. That half these dudes can't define what they yelling in caps. Talking about free market while wages collapse. I watch your pivot arrive, I make it visible live. But this ain't never gonna be a place to talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down. Welcome to the ring now. Got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Welcome to the ring now.
You ain't built for this smoke.
Y'all slap nuts ain't got milk for these old
donuts.
So pipe down, you might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. Yeah. Welcome to Sparring with Santana. Bring your sources,
please.
Or bring excuses, whatever. Doesn't really matter either way.
You about to get cooked.
You should know who I am by now.
You should. Don't worry, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Guys, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you are friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Also, if you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. What up for she over on Instagram? I see you. Also, guys, if we can continue to knock out these little 1-cent gift goals, it'll help boost the live as well. So please, 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 can we knock out the roses? Hi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yes, sir.
Yes to Trump supporter. Yes, you disagree, or combination?
Yeah, Trump. Combination.
Combination. All right, all right. And so your name is Doofy?
Yeah.
You want me to call you Doofy?
Sure, that'll work.
Yeah, be a jerk. All right.
Absolutely.
In that case, Doofy, quick question for you before.
I do.
You do? You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Super, super, super interesting. All right. Well, in that case, would you mind if I give a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is for anyone who may not know or who may not know who I am?
Get your bag, boo-boo.
Welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, only requests up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live. And can we knock out the daily gift goal? All right, Doofy, floor is yours. You said that you're a Trump supporter, disagree with something on the background. Do you want to tell me why today, June 23rd, 2026, you still somehow support Donald Timothy Trump, or do you want to pick a topic on the background where you'd like to start?
No, sure. Firstly, I'll say that first, man, I've got quite an echo.
You have an echo? Give me a second. I think I know how to fix it. One moment. Guys, as I correct this echo, if you don't mind, tap the screen, do all the wonderful things. Yeah, I apologize. When I because I reset my laptop and then I forgot to turn on the actual output, the audio output correctly, and so that caused a little bit of issues. You should be G to G now.
Okay, check. All right, cool. Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
All right, man. So firstly, I'd like to give you props on that intro. So it's obvious that your production value has increased over time. So I must say I'm impressed. But to move on, I'd essentially say that my position is simply that I am a Republican slash Trump supporter slash whatever term you want to put on it, just because I'm a firm believer. And you can do your best to disprove this, because I'm a firm believer that the left is the party of pedophiles. So if you can give me some points to disprove that, I'd love to hear them, because as far as I can see, it's as clear as day that the left, not only in America but across the world, are the party of pedophiles and protecting pedophiles.
Okay. Well, I mean, sure, we can definitely talk about that. I mean, that's an interesting stance, but see, the interesting thing about like your claim is you'd have to substantiate your claim. So I'm willing to hear you out, debate you, and even like if you can prove it, I'm even willing to accept it. Like I absolutely am willing to accept things that can be proven, but the onus would be on you to actually give your argument for why you consider the left to be the party of pedophiles.
Okay. Well, I mean, I agree with you. You definitely don't want to believe anything without evidence. So have you paid attention to the news lately? And I guess more specifically, did you happen to catch the release of the Muslim rape gang inquiry report?
No, I haven't heard of that. Is it something that occurred here in the US, or are you talking on a global scale?
See, it's by that question alone that I'm pretty sure you understand exactly what I'm talking about, but you're trying to deflect from it because you.
No. I'm
not.
I'm just trying to verify, because I hadn't heard about it. That's what I'm saying. Is it something that occurred here in the US, or is it something that happened outside of the country?
This is actually something that occurred outside the country, in Europe, and Rupert Lowe, the leader of the Restore Britain party, has.
Well, so let's do this. Let's start within the U.S., right? Because while we can talk about global geopolitics or whatever, can we talk about how it's occurring here in the U.S.?
Well, no, the left encompasses everybody across the planet.
That's fine, but I can't control, or we can't really dictate to other quote unquote leftists outside of the U.S. So we want to be where our feet are, friend, and our feet are here in the U.S. So
yeah, no, I'm not trying to dictate to anybody. No, I'm not trying to dictate to anybody outside the U.S. I'm telling you that I'm a Republican because I believe that the left is the party that protects pedophiles.
I mean, that's fine. And again, I'm willing to hear you out, but can you substantiate that for the left in the U.S.?
Hang on, calm down. I wasn't done with my statement. So,
I hear you, but it seems like you keep trying to go directly against what we're talking about. Again, I'm willing to accept it, but I need to talk about what's happening here in our country.
Okay. So you're just going to discount that 250,000 young girls and children were trafficked in I'm
going to discount the fact that you keep trying to talk about something that didn't happen in our country. And now if we were talking geopolitics, like, Iran and the US, sure, we can talk about that. When you're talking about the fact that there's pedophile rings or, things are happening to children all around the world, like, I completely agree with you. Like, that's all fucked, but I can't really speak to those things because one, has nothing to do with us here in the US as far as specifically what we want to debate today. And then two, I'm sorry, I'm just not educated on other things that are happening all around the world unless it's geopolitics. I mean, I should be better, but I'm not. And so you said the reason why you're Republican, i.e. the reason why you vote for the right in the United States of America is because of this. So if we can keep this in the United States of America, I'm willing to hear you out on whatever you got. But if you want to talk about Europe, I'm sorry, this is the wrong place. I can't really debate you on Europe.
Interesting. I think that speaks more volumes than actually engaging with it. But okay,
that's fine.
We'll play by your rules.
Do you not have anything to substantiate your claim based off of the U.S.?
Have you ever heard of the Epstein files?
No. What are those?
Well, I'm not surprised that you haven't heard of them. If you're so blinded that you can't even see the Muslim rape gang inquiry report that was released, I doubt you've ever heard of the Epstein files. Frankly.
Tell me about them.
So there was this one individual, quite a slimy individual named Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey?
Big Jeff.
Okay.
Big Jeff. So him and his cohorts were alleged.
Did he have friends?
I guess. No, according to the U.S. government, he didn't have any friends at all, and it was just him and his little girl Ghislaine that were involved. But it was
he didn't have any friends, no one that he hung out with, like friends. In Florida or Miami. I mean, nope. Florida or Manhattan.
Especially Donald Trump. Especially Donald Trump, which is the craziest thing because people like to associate the two, and unfortunately.
Did Donald Trump associate them?
The one person in the world that Jeffrey Epstein hated the most was Donald Trump. I wonder why that is. Is that because maybe Donald Trump
that's because Donald Trump snaked the property from him? No, that's literally because Donald Trump snaked the property from him. Hey, so are you trying to say that even Donald Trump didn't actually? I don't know what you're doing right now, but like there's some really loud sounds going on.
I'm trying to have a communication. Sorry.
No. I'm talking about there's like some rustling or whatever, some additional sound. Not you talking. But like it was, I don't know if you were moving something or whatever, but it was just like really loud.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Donald Trump actually touted their friendship, right? I mean, like he talked about them being friends for years and years and years. And Donald Trump actually said, well, I stopped being friends with him because, he was stealing workers from Mar-a-Lago. And so I kicked him out. Well, that wasn't true because they were still friends after that alleged incident. And there's actual proof of that. But also it's more based off of the fact that Jeffrey Epstein was trying to purchase a piece of property and Donald Trump undercut him and purchased that piece of property. And that's why they kind of had a falling out. But they were still in connection even while Donald Trump was in the White House. After Donald Trump won the 2016 presidential election, he and Jeffrey Epstein were still in communications in 2017. Shoe fly. Fuck this fly is in here for. Did you want to respond to that?
Sure. Quickly though, question. I find it really fascinating that you have such a script prepared to just rattle off super quickly about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, but you have zero idea about the rape gang inquiry report that very clearly.
Well, first and foremost, it's not a script. Secondly, the reason why I have the information is because, well, I'm going to go ahead and just directly address that. It's because I live in the United States of America. And I know all about the Epstein file. Number three. Hey, do you know who Ro Khanna is?
Nope, I've never seen a single politician outside of.
Perfect. Ro Khanna is he's a House representative from Silicon Valley, from California, who actually, in conjunction, wrote the Epstein Transparency Act with Thomas Massie. Right. So those two, Republicans and Democrats, spearheaded the Epstein Transparency Act. Hey, do you know who debated Ro Khanna on the Epstein Transparency Act?
I'm dying to know. I bet you're going to tell me.
This guy. So I've done plenty of actual research on the Epstein Transparency Act. So when you sit here and try to say, well, how dare you not know about some shit that happened in Europe, but you know something that affected here was prevalent and in the forefront of what's happening here in the U.S. How dare you know something that's going on in the U.S. and not something that happened in Europe?
Yeah, so the Epstein trafficking thing was completely constricted to the U.S. and didn't travel overseas at all.
No, it's worldwide, but it was very prevalent here within the U.S. And it's
how do you know about it? Wait, how do you know anything about it?
I was literally answering your question.
It's a global issue. You said you don't know anything outside of the U.S.
Did you just stop listening after I said that, or did you hear any of the few words that I were able to say? Yeah, exactly. So how about you do this, Dooley? How about you actually? And I'll finish my sentence. It was a global situation that was heavily prevalent within the United States of America, completely enthralling not only the people within our government, but not only political figures, but ultra wealthy people within the U.S. And, it was very much rooted in places like Manhattan and places like Florida. So like all of those things are a multitude of reasons. And the fact that the Epstein Transparency Act was passed, forcing Donald Trump to release the Epstein files, which he hasn't released all the files. And the fact that, there's a multitude, 9 million files as a total. Like, so, yeah, you sitting here and saying, well, why would you know about the Epstein Transparency Act and not something that's happening in another country? Hey, question for you. If you came up here to debate and you were trying to substantiate why you're a Republican, and we're talking about, I said, hey, tell me how you support Donald Jimothy Trump and the Republican Party today, and you want to talk about outside of the U.S., but you're not talking about like geopolitics in the sense of like, oh, you know, we're no new wars or some shit. You're talking about other things that are happening in other countries. I can elaborate. Can you tell me, if you can connect the dots as far as how those things outside of the country are directly connected to the Republican and Democratic Party today here in the U.S., I'm willing to go there.
Sure. Absolutely. I'll learn you something real quick.
I doubt it.
All right. So I'm gonna have to be able to speak uninterrupted, though. I don't know if that's something you're capable of, but let's find out. We'll find out together. We're on a mission. So the reason I said that that I support the Republican Party over the left, and I was referring to an issue that pertains to the European Muslim rape gang inquiry report, is because the left overall, again, like I said, this is not constricted just to the U.S. It's actually a global party, and just like the right is a global party as well. There are different factions across the world that are either right or left leaning, right? So you have to kind of look at the totality of what each party represent, and the fact that the left represent allowing such behavior to persist on a daily and such pervasive basis, and the right is actually the ones trying to put a stop to it and trying to do investigations into it and trying to shut down what has transpired for so many years and decades. Frankly, at this point, I just see the right as being the more moral party, and it really isn't even close. There's just a pervasive culture of trying to subvert Western ideology and trying to implement mass migration of the third world to the West.
You're literally just spamming words now. Like, you're literally just spamming shit. A question for you. So do you hold the
no. So tell me where I was wrong. Could you
I'll
tell me where
tell you,
I was wrong?
I have a clarifying question. So is it your premise that you actually hold the left accountable for all left-leaning actions around the world, and you hold the right accountable for all right-wing actions around the world? Meaning, like, the Republican Party here in the U.S. is responsible for conservative right-wing actions in, let's say, Germany or
I'll answer your question. No, I'll answer your question. The answer is no. Yeah, I'll answer your question. The answer is no, because it was more of a descriptive claim as opposed to a prescriptive one. Because
wait, hold on.
Generally, as the left and the right,
no. Stop for a second. Now you're actually contradicting yourself. No, you're contradicting yourself.
I'm answering your question.
You're contradicting yourself.
How do you know when you didn't allow me to finish?
Because you
coming off.
Okay, Doofy. Sorry,
it's Doofy. Yeah, thanks.
Doofy. If your premise is that the reason why you support the Republican Party within the U.S. is because the left as a whole on a global stage is immoral, and, you know, they're doing all this other fucked up shit, and the right, you said, are the ones that are trying to combat it, then that means that if you're holding the left in the U.S. accountable for the quote unquote actions of the left in Europe, shouldn't that mean that you're holding the right accountable for the actions of the right in Europe?
I don't know that that's necessarily the entailment of my statement, which is why I was trying to finish where my claim was going before you interrupted me. But I could clarify if you'd like.
I would just like you to actually be intellectually honest. How can you hold the left accountable? How can you hold the left accountable for actions of other countries, left-leaning political figures, but not hold the right accountable for other right-leaning political figures' actions?
Oh, I do. I actually address and condemn any moral wrongdoing.
Okay, perfect.
So
whether it's I just needed to make sure. So you just like you're holding the left accountable for left-wing items that are happening in Europe, you hold the right accountable for right-wing items happening in Europe and like Muslim countries and all this other like more conservative extremist things, right?
Yeah, I hold wrongdoing to account, whether it's part of the left or the right. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you blame the Republican Party for Sharia law in Muslim countries.
So you're pivoting from my claim?
No, I'm just trying to see if you're consistent.
No, you're just moving the entire direction of the
discussion. I'm not moving anything. I'm testing your consistency.
So you don't want to address any of the
points that I made.
Oh, no,
in
no,
my
we will.
statement.
I
You don't
just
wanna
need to
address
make
any
sure
of
that
those.
you're consistent. So
When
just like you're
I'd like to
holding
write
the
it
right,
down
I'm
so I
sorry,
can
just
hold
like
you
you're
to
holding the
account.
left accountable for this
Well,
actual
no, I want
sex
to hold you
trafficking
to
ring
account. You
in
said that we
Europe,
will talk
are
about it.
you
When will we
also
talk about
agreeing?
it?
Oh, we're going to talk about that, but I just need to make
Yeah,
sure that you
when?
actually
I need
believe
to
that.
write it down.
So you agree that
When
the
we're going to discuss
Republican
it,
Party
I want to
is
write it down so
accountable
we can
for
hold you to account.
the Muslim countries that engage in Sharia law?
So again, can you tell me a time that we're going to get back to this so I can write it
Yeah,
down and then
after
I
you
can hold
answer
you
this
to account?
question.
I need to hold you to account. So when
After
can
I
we
finish
get back to the actual
verifying that
debate?
you are, see, listen, this is what we're doing. I'm verifying that you're actually intellectually
inform
honest
me.
and that you hold the premise, because I'm going to do this with you if that's the case. Because then after we finish going through your premise as far as like the Democrats here in the US being accountable for something that's happening in Europe, I'm going to run through that with you. And then we're going to talk about the Republican Party being held accountable for all the right wing extremist shit all around the world. And then we're going to see which one is worse. But I need you to agree, right? You already said that you hold that accountable. So I need you to agree. I need you to agree.
Yeah, worse in what metric?
We'll talk about it. We'll compare and contrast. But I need you to agree. Do you hold the Republican Party in the U.S.
Yes.
accountable for the Sharia law
keep
that's
tracking,
occurring
bro.
in
I already
Muslim
said yes.
countries? So yes, you
Keep
hold them
tracking. I
accountable
already
for
said yes.
Sharia law.
Of course I do.
Okay, perfect. All right, go ahead and tell me now. So you're talking about this
Why?
actual
When are you going to
ring
actually
this
address my point? You just keep trying to divert
We're going back to
onto
your
own
point.
points. Okay,
We're going back to your point.
All right, let's hear it.
No, so go ahead and explain to me how the Democratic Party has control over the actual ring, and you can just say the ring. You don't have to keep spamming all the words you're saying.
I didn't say they had control over it. I said they run defense for it, and they
okay. Explain to me how they directly ran defense for it.
So the fact that, well, let's just say we'll even tie it back into something more domestic.
No, I would like for you to be direct, please. Can you tell me how they directly ran defense for it?
Don't interrupt me.
No, how about you actually directly answer the question?
I am. How about you don't interrupt me?
I'm going to interrupt you if you don't directly answer the question.
I can't hold you to account by interrupting you, so why can you do the same?
Because I'm not rambling off and talking about shit that's not pertinent.
I've said 4 words.
Okay, can you tell me how they are directly responsible?
Can you substantiate your claim? How was that rambling when I said 4 words?
Yeah, you wanted to talk about something and give an example that wasn't a direct example of how the Democratic Party has been running coverage and protection for what's occurring within Europe, because you started to talk about something. You started talking about something that wasn't directly connected. You said, well, let's take it here and use this. Go ahead.
And what was that example I was going to give, since you know?
The floor is yours, Doofy.
No, what was the example I was going to give?
The floor is yours, Doofy. Tell me how the Democratic Party has directly been running interference and allowing this ring to occur in Europe.
Sure. So I'll even give you a more domestic example, since you're not intelligent enough
to know
about what goes on the world stage.
I want you to tell me directly how it happened.
Something that you're actually aware of. You already told me you're uneducated on what goes on around the world. So I'll give you something that you might be educated on.
If you're going to try to give me a parallel, I don't want a parallel. I need you to hear me.
Why not?
Because I want a direct example. You made a direct claim.
What is a direct example?
Sure.
I need to know what a direct example
will be. The way that the Democratic Party actually upheld this was by approving a aid package to support which allowed them to continue this effort. A way that the Democratic Party actually supported this is by them blocking a piece of legislation that would have sanctioned this group and would have put like fiscal constraints on them. That's how you give a direct example. I don't want to hear you try to make a correlation. I want a direct example.
Well, is that how a debate works? Is that you giving me a script to read that would fall in line with the parameters of your debate, not what I would actually want to say organically?
And I want you to substantiate your claim. And substantiating your claim is not giving an example that is not directly connected to your claim.
I can't do it. If you don't stop spurring
out, Doofy, that's ableist as fuck. I'm muting you right now because now you're trying to get kicked. Don't fucking say that again, or you will get kicked. That's ableist. You're literally trying to slur to run.
Why would I be running? I'm trying to get you engaged.
Shushies. Stop it. Don't say that again.
So
do we have a clear understanding?
So that means you're running?
I need you to agree that
When
you have
mute,
an understanding.
You're running?
I don't care about you saying that, oh, you mute to run. I will literally just kick you because you can't track. I need you to agree that you will not say those ableist terms again. If you cannot say that, then you can fucking leave. I don't care which one, but I need you to either say yes or no.
What term did I use? I don't know.
You know what term you said.
Which was? I've only
Do
been able
you
to speak for like
agree,
6
yes or
seconds
no?
this
I
whole
literally
time.
just stopped you because you kept trying to say, you're doing this, you're doing this. You tried to repeat it. Don't fucking play games. You are already cooked. If you want to leave, then just fucking leave. But I need you to either admit, yes, I'm not going to do it anymore, or you're just going to leave.
How'd you prove me wrong? I'd love to know how you proved me wrong, actually.
Like that. Just like that. Your whole premise of, oh, I support the Republican Party because of shit that's happening in Europe. That's stupid. You're stupid. Like, that doesn't make any type of correlation. And if you can't actually engage in like not doing ableism, you can't say, oh, I'm not going to do ableism. Fuck out of here. And then where's this? Hold on. Where'd you go? Oh, this guy right here. Batista. You said L host. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Come up here and tell me how I lost. I just sent you a request. Batista Jeep 66. Tell me how I took an L. Where you at, Bub? That's what I thought. You can call me anything you want besides wrong. You're fucking wrong. Not only are you wrong, but you're stupid and wrong. Like, that's the weird shit. Also, hey, FYI, the Republican Party is literally the party of pedophiles. Directly. There has been more arrests of Republican people in Congress that are openly pedophiles than anything else. You're just coping. You're literally just coping. Hi, Poison King over on YouTube. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know why you're so fat, Santana.
Oh, because I'm delectable, delicious, and very lovable. Now, did you come up here to it? Hold on. I got you. I will let you rage out. It's perfectly fine. But I do need to verify before you continue to be obsessive about me and my body. It's okay. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay, perfect. So you disagree. I need you to do me a favor. Oh, why did you turn off your camera? What's going on with your camera? Why aren't you actually turning on? Why did you disable your camera? Because you're sitting here talking about me. I need to see how you look, Bub. No. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop you back out, request back in, but make sure you turn on that camera function because I'm going to put you on the screen. And since you have like comments about me, I'm perfectly fine with it, but I will critique you as well. So go ahead and request back in, but make sure you turn that camera function on. I want to see you. Hi, Hate over on YouTube. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yo, do I sound all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, bet. No, not a Trump supporter. Don't disagree with anything in the background, but I do disagree with.
I appreciate you. Then, if you are not a Trump supporter and you don't disagree with anything on the background, then this is not the space for you guys. Please, please, please. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Means only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Also, if you would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. What's happening in the chat? Hold on. Host got triggered and kicked. The guest is cooking. Oh, KB, come up here and tell me about it, Bub. I just muted you and I sent you a request. Tell me how I got cooked. KB Myers, you are now on hush. I need you to accept that request. Don't be a little snowflake. Don't be a little buttercup. Accept that request. Come on, KB. Aw. You're not going to accept the request? Aw, fake tough guy. They think that just because you don't allow people to engage in like harmful rhetoric and you kick them instead of allowing them to do the fucked up shit means that you're running. No, like you should be a fucking adult and you're able to actually engage. Like if you can't be an adult, then why should you be able to stay? Fuck out of here. And KB, I see that you're still in here. You're still watching. You just haven't accepted that request. Accept that request. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Suit from my family, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh, you can drop him.
Okay.
I didn't mean.
Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Hi, Emily, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Emily, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Okay. I'm going to drop you down. Let's see here, guys. W's in the chat for Dawn. Dawn sent a $20 donation. W's in the chat for Dawn. Dawn sent a $20 donation saying, thank you, Don. Thank you. I appreciate the hell out of you. W's in the chat for Don. W's in the chat for Don. W's in the chat for Jared for the $1 donation saying, check it out. It's Santana D. Luffy, captain of the TikTok Straw Hat Pirates, taking out Slapnuts Doofy. Yeah, it wasn't hard. Like, you know, all he had was fucked up shit and his conspiracy theories. That's wild. W's in the chat for Darlene for the $1 donation. Got it. Got it. All good. I doubt that he'll come up either anyway, though, Darlene. W's in the chat for Darlene. Let's see here. W's in the chat for Tiffany, who sent out a YouTube membership subscription. Massive W's in the chat for Tiffany for sending out that YouTube membership subscription. W's in the chat for over on Twitch. Palm, who sent a one-shared bit. Yeah, I got it. Sorry. W's in the chat for Manders for the one chair bit, say liberation FTW. I know that's right. W's in the chat for I think that's it, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Let's see here. I don't know if this person's going to load. Do 45, 47. I don't think this person's going to load. 45, 47. Hi, Ryan. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Wait, I just want to, you don't think black people can be racist, right? Because that's a little confusing to me, so.
I don't think that has to do anything on the background, but sure, I guess. Were you looking to debate can black people can be racist or not?
Yeah, I think they can.
Okay. Tell me why.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I think
you cut out.
If we define like what we're talking about here, like race is just
you like, cut out for a second. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I think just to define like what we're talking about, I think race is just like the grouping of like people into certain like categories based on what they look like and like other like traits that they have. And then being racist, I think, is like being prejudiced or being discriminatory to a person just solely based off like their race and like where they sit there. So I don't see how black people couldn't be prejudiced or discriminatory towards someone for being white or being Asian or any other race. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So I'll say this, like leaning on the definition when it comes to race and racism is like lazy. I mean, it's very surface level. But even if you want to go off of like certain definitions and you say like it's predicated by prejudice, what's prejudice?
Prejudice?
Yeah. What does it mean?
I feel like it's like just treating someone like having like a different like I don't know, like having like a sour feeling about someone based off something that they have or something. I don't know the official definition.
Don't worry, I'll give you the Merriam-Webster two-part section of what prejudice is. An irrational attitude or hostility directed against an individual, a group, or race, or their supposed characteristics, and an adverse opinion or leaning informed without grounds or before sufficient knowledge. All right. So
yeah, so basically a sour feeling, but yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, but the key part to that is without just grounds or before sufficient knowledge. Question. When it comes to black people and the way that throughout not only the United States of America, but throughout the globe, that colonization and white people has actively disenfranchised black people, creating generational trauma, creating pseudoscience that still affects black people today, disenfranchising them through the financial systems, through the educational system, through the healthcare systems, like all of these things. Would that be something that would lead to a not only a clear understanding as far as the people that have caused harm, but a clear understanding as far as the intent of said people that continue to do these things throughout history?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's definitely reason for like just any black person to have any like kind of uneasy feeling about like any white person for that reason. But I think like if you just have like a 10-year-old like white kid who literally has done nothing and like is just the most innocent.
And you keep cutting out.
Being prejudiced against and discriminated against by
I don't know if it's
because, oh, like you.
Hey,
you know,
Ryan, can you hear me? I think it's his signal.
Hello?
Hey, yeah, I think it's your signal because now you have bars. You keep cutting out.
That good? Is that good? Hello?
Yeah. It was just you cut out really bad, so I missed like a large portion of what you were saying.
I changed my Wi-Fi. Sorry.
Yeah, the last thing I heard you say was like a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I'm saying like if there was like a random 10-year-old white kid who was just innocent, he's literally done nothing bad in his life, and like that kid was just discriminated against for just being white. I don't think that's justified at all. I don't think you can just say like, oh my God, but your ancestors like did something to me, so I'm allowed to be discriminatory to you. I think that's like a very hateful way to like pass it on in a way.
Yeah, I think the portion of like the conversation that you're missing is that like racism is not based on hate. A lot of times like hate is tertiary, even if it's present, but it's not based off of hate. So saying, they hate this person or whatever, like that's a misnomer. Now, if you want to talk about like children and how children are inundated and like literally taught racism in a multitude of ways from the womb, you can look at the infant mortality rate for black babies and white babies. Do you know anything about the infant mortality rate?
It's higher, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of like questions with that stuff that I do have that I feel like go unanswered.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the answers are out there because the studies have been
like, why does that happen?
Yeah, because of medical racism. Because
so you're saying that there are doctors that they don't care as much? Is that what you're saying?
It's a practice of pseudoscience. Misinformation has been taught and passed down through medical texts, and it has caused them to have certain biases that change the way that they actually treat black patients. I mean, this is persistent throughout a multitude of ways. Have you ever heard that black people feel less pain or have thicker skin than white people?
No.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but that's a pseudoscience. That's literally something that's believed. And so since people, and that was passed down from chattel slavery, right? That was a pseudoscience that told slave masters that your black slaves felt less pain, unlike a normal human. So it was okay if you beat them because they didn't feel it the way that other people felt it, and their skin was thicker. And so that was passed down throughout generations and literally still taught. So much so that today, black people on average receive, I looked it up yesterday, I think it's like 49% less or 39%. Let's just say somewhere between 40 to 50% of black patients receive pain medication at a lower rate than their white counterparts, because doctors and nurses don't believe those black patients as far as them being in pain after surgeries and things like that. They simply think that, oh, they're lying because they don't feel pain like white people. And so they end up receiving lack of access to medication, unlike their white counterparts. And then even like the thick skin thing, right? That funny story, right? Now, this is a little bit anecdotal. I'm from the South, right? From South Carolina. And in 2010, I had to have gastric bypass surgery, right? And it was supposed to be a laparoscopic surgery where they were going to put in like 4 small incisions and then, do the surgery, and I would be G to G. All right. And I had this old white Southern doctor that was doing my surgery. And, he told me about the surgery and like we were good to go. I went under, I woke up, he came in, after the surgery, checked my incisions. I looked down and I now have an incision from the top of my chest all the way down my navel. He cut me wide open. And I was like, hey, what happened? I thought this was supposed to be like laparoscopic. And he was like, yeah, it was supposed to be, but your skin was too thick. So we had to completely open you up. And at the time I was thinking like, oh, I'm a fucking superhero. Like, yeah, thick skin. Come to find out, like, that's not a thing. And even more so, it's rooted in pseudoscience, which is medical racism. And fun fact, if he thought that my skin was too thick, then he would have made the one laparoscopic incision and then said, oh, we can't do this. We just need to make the wide incision. He made all 4 incisions and then completely opened me up. So yeah, medical racism.
Did you sue him?
No, I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought, I accepted that at the time and just thought, like, again, I'm a fucking superhero. Yep, I got thick skin. I didn't know that was actually rooted in medical racism. So no.
Yeah, I don't discount that any of that stuff happens, but I still think that, like, to just like say that I feel like black people are like immune from having that discrimination, I feel like that's not true, because that's happened to me before. Like, just black people, like, literally, I had this one black coworker who I literally just met her, and I literally had said nothing to her, and I went up to her and she said, "Shut up, you cracker. I'm not talking to some white kid." And I was just like, all right, well, that's racism, right? I mean, but I guess not, right? What would you call that then?
Yeah, she was just being a dick. I mean,
but would you not call, like, I mean, like, white people being racist is also being a dick, but like, there's got to be another term.
No,
that, right?
White people being racist is more deeper than that. See, that's why I said, like,
oh, I get that it's deeper, but like, I don't know.
Well, but listen, so this is what I was saying, right? When you talk about the definition of race and racism, and if you lean on the definition, that's why I hate when people say, like, the definition says this. It's so surface level, and it leaves room for people to actually believe things that aren't true. But then when you take a look at the functionality and how it actually persists, you take a look at like the etymology of words and the construction of race and all this other stuff, then you understand how this actual system works and how like people can weaponize the system, and how if you don't have whiteness, then you can't weaponize the system. Even think about that you just said, right? So you said that she walked up to you and said, "Shut up, cracker. I don't talk to white people," right?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of us just said that, no issues. What would be the opposite if you would have said something like that to her? What would you have called her? Not saying this was the word that you say, but
I wouldn't call her that. But no, yeah, I mean, it would be a slur, because that's,
which is what?
I mean, the equivalent might be the N-word. I don't even know.
Perfect. The N-word. So do you notice how both of us just said the N-word, but then also both of us just said cracker? No issues?
I mean, some people might be offended, but I don't care.
Sure, but like, do you know why it was like socially acceptable for the term cracker versus the actual N-word? And that's why people say the N-word instead of like actually saying the word.
Doesn't go back as far, I feel like.
Kind of true. Yeah. So like, even if you take a look at the weaponization of words, right? The term cracker was actually coined in France, and it was used to disenfranchise white people from other white people. Like, literally, the rich white people use those as terms to disenfranchise poor white people, right? And then fast forwarded to the United States of America, that term was then cultivated and used as a term of an endearment for other white people that literally whipped slaves. They use it as far as crack, the sound of the whip when it cracked, right? And so when you talk about that word, not only was that word derived by white people against white people, but that word has been something that has never been accompanied with actual harm to white people. But when you take a look at the N word, right? Not only was that word used to disenfranchise and marginalize Black people, but literally, as Black people hung from trees and were beaten and were pulled behind horses or cars or whatever, like, they were called that word at the same time, right? So we can talk about the etymology of the word, but we can also talk about what the function of the word was occurring. Literally, when white people were being called crackers, you know, people may be like talking shit about them, but that was it. When Black people were being called the N word, they were literally being killed. You get the difference?
No, I get it.
So
I still think it's like not right to say that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. For some reason, like, this is how I know racism doesn't affect white people, and I'm gonna be completely honest, because as a Black man, if the only form of quote unquote racism that I had to deal with was someone calling me the N word, I would take that all day, every day, twice on Sunday. If, like, that was the only form of racism that I had to deal with was someone calling me a name, I would take it. But see, racism is much deeper than that. Racism persists in different ways than that. Racism stops Black people from being able to access financial or finances. It keeps them from being able to access equity within our country. It literally stops Black people from being able to increase their birth rate, because, like, Black babies are dying right out of the womb. So if all of those other things were gone and it was just people calling us the N word, but none of those other things happen, I take that. Like, that's how I know for a fact that white people don't experience racism, because you guys think like being called the words are just like the worst things.
No, I'm not saying it's the worst thing. I'm just saying I think it's still racism. There's obviously like different, because I mean, you're discriminating against someone based on their race, but I guess like it's not as deep.
Yeah, well, and so let's take a step back, and this is why, again, I really, really, really don't like people leaning on the definition of race and racism, right? You kind of spoke to what race is a little bit, but give me one more time. What do you think race is?
I mean, I think it's definitely, it's not like biological. It's a social construct, but it's like a categorization of people based on like their phenotypical traits and just like, either what they look like or different traits that they have.
Yeah.
And
that's cool. Pretty spot on. Do you know why it was created and who created it?
I mean, it was probably created for some messed up reason, but it still stands today. Like, I think it's a valid way to categorize people in general, saying they're white or Black or Asian. I mean, I don't see a problem with it.
Got it. Yeah. So race is definitely a categorization of socially acceptable phenotypes that were created for the othering of non-white people as justification of chattel slavery, right? Literally, Gomez Inez de Zurara, who was a chronicler for Prince Henry the Navigator, was tasked with justifying the enslavement of Black people. And so he came across Black people and he said that they were animalistic, they were hypersexual, they were of the lower hemisphere, and they needed to be civilized, right? And so he categorized them as something different and started to break down the categorization of race. That was, of course, to create that free and cheap labor class that was needed to, engage with chattel slavery, because prior to the creation of race, slavery was never based off of like race. It was based off of maybe religion, war, debt, all this other stuff, but it was never based off of, like, this is a Black person. After the creation of race, that literally started the transatlantic slave trade, which stole black people from Africa and shipped them all around the world and put them in bondage and disenfranchised black people for years and years and years, even to today. What the fuck is happening with this fly? God dang it. Sorry, guys. But with all that being said, like that happened. And then after that happened, the actual system has been in place since. And since the system has been in place since, what we actually see now is that system working as a whole to disenfranchise non-white people in a multitude of ways, right? So like the complete idea of like race and racism, it was literally created for the othering of non-white people. And so unless you are actually white, you don't get access to the mechanisms of race and racism. Like you can't use something that wasn't created for you. And that's the problem.
I get it. No, I know, I do get that definition. But so you think that racism is like the entire, that explains 100% of the like black people's struggles nowadays, or is it like a mixture of the like that and some other stuff?
I think white supremacy is the root of like a lot of the issues for all marginalized communities throughout society, right? I mean, if you want to be real, then it's the patriarchy that's the absolute root. But upholding white supremacy disenfranchises a multitude of people, including white people. Like white supremacy hurts white people. Did you know that?
No.
Do you know who Lyndon Baines Johnson is?
LBJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what his quote about like white people?
No.
Okay, I got you. Give me 1 second here. So Lyndon Baines Johnson, a former president of the United States of America, the president that actually signed the 1965 Civil Rights Act, which gave the provisions that would classify black people like full citizens under the United States of America, because it gave them access to, excuse me, access to like all of the quote unquote constitutional rights. He actually said this. 1 second here. This is a direct quote from Lyndon Baines Johnson. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you. What did you get from that?
I mean, I think it's all like a hierarchy, I feel like. Is that what he's trying to convey? And then like I guess the white people will always be above the black people is what he's saying. And then like that's a way for certain white people to have like supremacy over other white people.
No. I mean, I kind of get why you would say that, but this is literally saying that as long as you tell the poorest white person that he's better than the best black person because he's white, no matter what his situation is. W's in the chat for Danielle for the $2 donation. Danielle said, hey, Santana, I'm a bit behind on the live, so this may be off topic, but the first guest claimed Trump had nothing to do with the Epstein file is wild AF. These are conservatives. These conservatives are really not aware Trump's name is in the file over 1 million times. Keep up the great work, friend. Absolutely. W's in chat for Danielle. It's not that they're not aware. They just literally don't want to engage with it. Like, that's the issue. They have no interest in actually engaging in reality because it breaks what they want to believe in. So that's where we are. W's in the chat for Danielle. W's in the chat as well for Kelly for the 5 chair bits to say smashes through the smashes and rolls in landing, throwing pockets full of glitter. Good Taco Tuesday, cuties and beauties. Hopefully everyone has had a wonderful day, and remember your daily dose of hydration and snackies. Now remember to stay amazing, and you're all beautiful. Rains glitter vanishing into the void. W's in the chat for Kelly. Guys, if anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, 1.2 thousand people hanging out here on TikTok. We haven't even hit 100,000 likes. What the fuck is happening? Guys, tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes immediately. immediately. Also, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the rosas. Please, please, please knock out the rosas. Last but not least, if you look up at the top and you see the word follow me, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. YouTube is slacking as well. YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. It'll push the VOD out, get more people in here. Guys, you're slipping on your pimping. What's going on? All right, Ryan, you good?
Yeah, sorry, I was doing something.
No, all good. So what he was saying here is that if you let the lowest white man know, like, hey, you might be unhealthy, you may be poor, you may be uneducated, but at least you're not black. You know, this black person may have money, but hey, he's not white. As long as you give them someone to actually say, I'm better than them, even while they're like at their lowest, then they can still actually take a position of allowing capitalism to take from them the actual things that are needed, right? So again, if you specifically give them someone to say, hey, you're better than this black person, and they would say, you know what? I'm hungry as fuck, but at least I'm not black. I'm dirty as fuck, but at least I'm not black. Like that's the entire premise of race that's intertwined with capitalism. Like the reason why race was created was for the othering of white people and to uphold capitalism. Like it's all intertwined.
Yeah, I just feel like we've progressed so much as a society that I don't feel like that's a huge issue anymore. Like that whole,
you don't think so?
Whole quote. I don't think, I just don't see it. Like I see so many, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like being like, I have faith in our society that I don't think that would even happen, that anyone would even think that. Like no one would look at that quote and be like, oh yeah, like I'm a white man and I believe in that. Like that's just stupid in my opinion.
No. White men think that all the time. Like it's a whole thing. It's literally a whole thing. Hey,
hopefully
you know who LeBron James is?
Yeah, of course.
LeBron James, after moving to LA to play for the LA Lakers and living in LA because he has a multitude of homes in LA, living in a private gated community, meaning you can't just gain access to said community. You have to be in that community or directly invited by someone who lives in that community to actually be in that community. LeBron James woke up one morning to his $1 million mansion inside this prestigious Bel Air gated community, walked outside to see on the front of his gate written NIGGER. LeBron James in a gated community in a multi-million-dollar home where LeBron James was absolutely richer than some of those people there. Hell, LeBron James is now a billionaire, but not only richer than a lot of people that he lived around, but also more prestigious than a lot of people that he lived around. But those people who lived around him, while, in close proximity, a lot of them, being worth a lot, but still less than LeBron James, still thought that they could look down on LeBron James because he was black and they're not.
Yeah, I still think that's like I feel like that's a super small percentage still. I mean, I feel like hopefully that's lower than 10% of people today. I mean, that's just.
Okay. So you think that most people don't think that,
I think most people don't care that much about like race in general. And they're not going to look at I feel like we progress enough as a society that.
2024 presidential election. Who won?
Trump.
Perfect. Donald Trump won, but Donald Trump did something that has never been done in United States history. Donald Trump won the election by receiving more votes from white men than any president in United States history. Right? I'm not talking about more votes than any other Republican candidate. I'm talking more votes than any other president in United States history. Joseph Robinette Biden in 2020 received the most votes in presidential history. And even though Donald Trump didn't break that record as far as the most votes, he still received more votes from white men than Joe Biden received from white men, even though he had a historic amount of votes. Hey, have you ever seen the Reagan map?
Wasn't it a landslide?
Yeah, but have you ever seen it?
I think I have, but you could bring it up again because I wouldn't remember.
Okay, so Ronald Reagan, who is often looked at as like the bastion of the Republican Party, he's like the stalwart of the Republican Party, the actual like person that the Republicans always used to point to and say like, this is our king, right? This is the best of the best. And the reason why they did that is because Ronald Reagan captivated the imagination of America, not just white America, not just black America, but America as a whole. So much so that Ronald Reagan did this to the presidential map.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Reagan won every state except one.
That's crazy.
And Donald Trump got more votes from white men than Ronald Reagan, who won every single state except one. Now, at the same time that Donald Trump was actually getting more votes than any other president in United States history, funny thing, a lot of people are saying, well, the reason why we're voting for Trump is because like shit is too expensive. Inflation is too high. Things aren't good. And Donald Trump was literally telling people like, hey, we're going to make prices higher. Like Donald Trump was actively telling people that we're going to put tariffs on everything. You know what a tariff is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You learn about in economics.
Yeah. Who pays the tariffs in the end?
Consumers.
Right. And so he was saying, I'm going to lower prices by making you pay more. Doesn't make fucking sense. But people didn't care, right? They didn't care because they were voting against a black woman. Right now, I mentioned prior that like we can talk about, racism and capitalism, but like the patriarchy, that's what we really have to focus on, because the patriarchy puts white men at the top, and depending on like your different intersex, you fall below that, right? But black women in typical tend to fall towards the bottom of the patriarchal system. And so white men who have held the 250-year history of our country, 90% of power in Congress, that's House, Senate, and presidency, 90% over the 250-year history has been held specifically by white men. And so white men saw their actual complete grip on power being threatened by a black woman and showed up and voted for Donald Trump in numbers that they had never seen before. And you can say, well, like it's because of what Donald Trump said and he promised and all this other stuff. Like I said, he said he was going to raise prices by adding tariffs. And the reason why, people didn't actually lower prices by adding tariffs. And the reason why, people didn't know what a tariff was before they voted for him is because after Donald Trump was elected, there were two massive spikes in the United States of America for Google searches. Do you know what those two spikes were?
No.
First one was, what's a tariff? The second one was, can I take my vote back? People were frantically trying to figure out what's a tariff. And then once they figured out what a tariff was, they were frantically trying to figure out if they could take their vote back. And so the actual issue comes down to the fact that Donald Trump was able to galvanize people who wanted to weaponize the fact that there was a black woman. He even played it up and said, oh, Kamala Harris turned black and all this other stuff. And like, that's not true, but he weaponized the fact that there was a black woman and he was able to incite enough hatred and racism and sexism and misogynoir in order to propel himself to the White House. Now, he did this at the lowest victory ever in modern day history against a woman that only had 107 days to actually run, a woman that had a fractured party because she wouldn't outright say like what's happening in Gaza was a genocide, a woman that literally didn't have time to create her own team or really vet her VP. He won, but with the smallest margin ever. But that's off the back of racism and sexism.
Yeah, but don't you think that a big reason that the Democrats didn't win was just because of the fractured party? Like you said, like it was literally in shambles. Like I've never seen something like it. Like, I mean, Joe Biden just went out in like literally the worst way. The debate with Joe Biden was just like one of the worst things I've ever seen.
The fracture in the party more so relates to the fact that Kamala Harris didn't disavow Israel and what was occurring with the genocide in Gaza. Yeah. Right. But like, if we're going to keep it funky, they wanted to hold this black woman to a level of accountability that they didn't hold other people. Right. Because if it would have been a white man, then they would have said, well, you know, we disagree with what's happening, but you know, we're gonna hold our nose and vote, right? There are a bunch of principled people that didn't vote. There are some people that that voted third party, but there's also a portion of those people that voted for Donald Trump, pushing back specifically on Kamala Harris, right? And the funny thing about all of those people is they never requested or demanded anything of Donald Trump. They just said, well, Kamala Harris isn't getting my vote. But you can talk about the genocide that occurred in Palestine, in Gaza, which should have absolutely been something that Kamala Harris disavowed, but you cannot forget the misogynoir that hold Black people, and specifically Black women, to a higher level of accountability than anyone else in our country. That's why when Donald Trump got in office and he started targeting, like, quote unquote DEIA, within the first year of his administration, over 400,000 Black women had lost their jobs. The Black unemployment rate skyrocketed, but specifically Black women faced the brunt of that increased spike of unemployment. And, you know, I think that's also a backlash for the fact that 92% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris. And so Donald Trump specifically went after the group that showed up and voted against him en masse. But this all dives back down to the heart of what I'm saying. And that is that white men saw their spot at the top of the patriarchal system being threatened by a Black woman, and overwhelmingly voted for someone that's a rapist, a sexist, a classist, someone who openly admitted to wanting to be a fascist and authoritarian, someone who tried to overthrow our country and literally tried to subvert the will of the people. They voted for him because the opposite was letting a Black woman attain the highest seat in the land.
So you think that, like, what percent would you say of people thought like that?
I don't know. I don't like putting numbers on stuff that I can't quantify.
So do you think it's not a majority, right? You don't think a majority of people literally thought like that?
I think that a majority of white men did, yes.
Are you're being serious? There's no way. That's
no,
just the stupidest
I
thing
think
I've
a
ever
majority
heard.
of white men that voted for Donald Trump absolutely felt that way. It might not have been the primary or even the secondary reason, but I think a majority of the white men that voted for Donald Trump felt that way. The reason why I say that is because unless you're an ultra wealthy person, like, Donald Trump has done nothing to benefit even white men.
Well, I think
about
people
it.
won't vote off of the conservative policies. They'll just never vote for Democrat, which is just, I feel like,
Yeah, I mean,
like
people take this
a
as
lot of
like
people
sports
vote.
and shit, and it's like your side versus my side. But like I say this all the time, like, it doesn't matter what like letter you have beside your name. Are you doing something good for the American people? And the Republican Party not only has like a track record of not doing anything good for the everyday person, specifically in Trump's first term, he didn't do anything to benefit the everyday American. And even while getting back in office, he passed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which was the largest wealth transfer in United States history, and it overwhelmingly benefited like the ultra wealthy. It propelled Elon Musk to a trillionaire, but at the same time, it has completely harmed the people that voted for Donald Trump. Like, the people that voted for Donald Trump have been harmed. And do you know what happened with the healthcare once the One Big Beautiful Bill was passed?
People lost healthcare? I was listening to Dean's thing.
Yeah, 17 million Americans lost access to healthcare. Now, that's not the end of it, right? Because while 17 million Americans did lose access to healthcare, that affected like Medicaid, Medicare, and as of right now, 466 hospitals, rural hospitals, are on pace to actually shut down by the end of the year. Hey, Donald Trump's voter base, where are they mostly located?
I mean, the South and probably the Midwest or something. In
red states and rural areas, right?
Yeah, rural areas.
And so Donald Trump passed a piece of legislation that not only kicked people off of their health care, but it also is causing like rural hospitals to shut down. Do you know why rural hospitals are so important?
I mean, because you can't get to a city, so you need a hospital there. Otherwise, people aren't going to have food.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So these rural hospitals, 466 of them, they service 6.6 million patients, and they actually employ 275,000 employees, right? And so by the end of this year, due to the One Big Beautiful Bill, all of that's going to be gone. Now, the interesting thing about that is not only is Donald Trump a voter base in red states and rural areas, but they are made up of white people. Like a majority of his voter base is white people, right? Can you tell me the only race within our country that has, over the last 30 years, a declining birth rate?
Black people, Latinos.
Latino isn't a race, but no.
Declining birth rate. Asian? I don't know.
White people.
Asians?
White people.
White people.
They're the only race over the last 30 years in our country that has a declining birth rate. That's why, as a whole, the United States has a declining birth rate, because white people make up the majority of the country, and their birth rate is actually declining. And so since their birth rate is declining, they're having less babies. Their average age is getting older, right? So the average age of white people has increased while their birth rates has decreased. Now, if we know for a fact that the One Big Beautiful Bill cut 17 million people off of healthcare and is shutting down 466 rural hospitals that service 6.6 million Americans and employ 275,000 employees, and this actually occurs in these red rural areas that Donald Trump won, and the majority of people in those areas are white people, and white people now are getting older and not having babies, and you shut down those hospitals. Hey, what happens when older people either have an incident and they need emergency support, or they can't travel back and forth? They got, instead of going 15, 20 minutes, they have to drive an hour and a half to get normal treatment. Is that gonna cause issues with them being able to survive?
That's gonna cause issues, yeah. But the problem is that people will see the Big Beautiful Bill and they'll see these no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and then whatever else Trump is glorifying about the bill, and people just discount the rest of it. And that's the problem with like a lot of politics that I have, is that the same thing happens in the Democratic Party. Like there's these bills that are passed, and it's just people glaze over like the bad parts and just look at the good parts. So it's just literally stupid.
I'm not saying that's not true, but what I'm saying is that directly by people voting for Donald Trump, the people that voted for Donald Trump are directly signing their death certificates. Like they literally directly had a hand
I could see
in
that.
ensuring that they die. And the point being is, they were willing to do all that. They were willing to increase prices on themselves. They were willing to put their lives in jeopardy. They were willing to do all of this stuff, knowing the history that Donald Trump has never done anything positive as far as his last administration, the fact that he's been open about being a racist, sexist, classist, fascist. Like the Republican Party over the last 60 years hasn't passed one piece of legislation that overwhelmingly benefited the everyday American versus the ultra wealthy. Knowing all of these things, they still voted for Donald Trump. And the reason why they voted for Donald Trump, at the heart of it, specifically the white men, racism, sexism, literally misogynoir.
I mean, I can't dispute that because I don't have any. But in school we were learning about the like median wages in certain groups, and I noticed that there was, because I know like you said that racism plays a big part, but there was like at the top of the list there were Asians and Jewish people, and then there was Black people all the way at the bottom. So do you have like an explanation you can give me for that? Because that was confusing to me, because I feel like all three groups go through like discrimination, obviously some worse than others, but two of the groups are at the top and one's at the bottom. Is there like an explanation for that?
How long is our country? How old is our country?
It's almost 250.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, it is. So it's almost 250 years. So it was founded on July 4th, 1776. Do you know when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation?
1864. Or
so close. January 1st, 1863. Holy smokes, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, no mind.
So the Emancipation Proclamation was the declaration that Black people were free, right?
Yeah.
Do you know when Black people were actually free in the United States of America?
Free from what?
Like slavery.
Segregation? Oh, slavery? That's Juneteenth, right?
Yep, which was 1865.
Yeah.
Right? So 1865. 1865 is when the United States of America officially, Black people freed Black people. And we've gone from there, right? So from 1865 until now, that's 161 years, right?
Yeah.
Now, we do understand that the actual at what happened after the Emancipation Proclamation and then Juneteenth and all this was preceded by like reclamation, which included like slave codes, pig laws. We also had to deal with like Jim Crow, segregation, like all of these other things. And then finally, the Black people were given access to the full terms of being like full-fledged American citizens. Do you know what year, technically under the law, Black people became full-fledged citizens of the United States of America?
1963.
Close, 65.
Damn it.
With the signing of the 1965 Civil Rights Act, which we just talked about with Lyndon Baines Johnson, right? So 1965, that's 61 years ago, right? So even though the country is 250 years and Black people have been here longer than 250 years, but the actual end of slavery occurred 161 years ago, while Black people have been full-fledged citizens of the United States of America for 61 years. Do you know what the ratio was for wealth in the United States? Meaning, for every $1 a Black person had after Juneteenth, for every $1 the Black people had, how many dollars white people had?
5 to 1.
Mm-mm.
Worse or better?
Mm-hmm.
12 to 1.
Mm-mm.
What?
69. For every $1 Black people had, white people had $69. That was the ratio, right?
That was in 1965.
That was in 1985. I'm sorry, 1865. Okay. Sorry, 1865.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Blue Bull, thank you so much for the Viking hammer. Do you know what that ratio is today?
4 to 1.
1 to 7. For every $1 Black people have, white people have $7. So within a span of 161 years, or to be more clear, and within a span of 60 years, Black people have dramatically cut the disparities within wealth and have been able to, enrich themselves and actually grow. And that's even without being recognized as full members of society. That's also with every time that Black people have been able to establish something that is rooted in, Black progress, Black capitalism, Black power, as far as the finances. It's literally been destroyed. We can talk about like Central Park and the fact that Central Park is literally a park where a Black town stood, and they destroyed the Black town. A lot of people like to talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street, but they don't talk about like Lake Lanier that's down in Georgia, how like that was literally a Black town. And the reason why people say don't swim in Lake Lanier is because there's Black dead people at the bottom of the lake, and they built that lake on top of a Black town. Every single time within the history of the United States of America where Black people have not only had solidarity, but they've had progress, the United States as a whole, white people have killed them. Like literally, the United States of American government dropped a bomb, used a bomb within the United States on Black people as they were progressing. So like you can
Literally,
talk about like literally, no, not figuratively, literally. That's the only time the United States
experiments.
No. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, there's been experiments. There's been like a lot. But the point that I'm trying to get across is you talk about like, why are Black people at the bottom when it comes to the economical stance of here in society, or here within the United States of America? The fact that Black people are still standing is a fucking miracle. Like it's a little miracle. Like there's no other way to explain it.
My question is that why are Jewish people all the way at the top, literally number 1 or 2? That's my question, because I feel like today I see anti-Semitism, I see racism. So why are Jewish people all the way at the top and Black people are all the way at the bottom when they probably started from nothing around like similar times?
They didn't, quote unquote, start from nothing at similar times.
Well, Jewish people, I feel like after the Holocaust came.
Well, also Jewish people are white. Not white, but can be white. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah. Like Jewish people aren't excluded to one specific race because that's an ethno religion. And so you can talk about Jewish people, but Jewish people aren't limited to just that intersection of race. And now you take a look at like Black Jewish people, Asian Jewish people, indigenous Jewish people, and they receive some of those same parallels. And so, you know, you comparing Black people to Jewish people isn't a correlation because one's a race and one's an ethno religion. So that doesn't make sense.
But you don't think that at least some of it is like the culture that's being pushed in the households? Like there's a study that was done that I saw a little while back where it's like a certain percentage of like Asian parents stress like school versus a much less percentage of Black parents stress school. And like, do you think that could play a role in it at least?
No. Who's the most educated group in our country today?
I don't know.
Black women. Black women are the most educated group in the United States of America because they actually, while entering college with one of the smallest penetrations of being accepted, they have one of the largest graduation rates as far as obtaining those 4-year degrees. And it grows even more when you talk about like secondary degrees. Black women have overwhelmingly been able to attain education and then also obtain businesses, right? Black entrepreneurship has skyrocketed in the recent years. Now it's dipped out because of Donald Trump and how he specifically tried to target people. But Black women have been at the forefront of growth within the Black community. So you can talk about like the household and all this other stuff. Hell, even if you want to talk about Black men, there's a myth that says Black men abandon their kids. Well, that's just not true. There was a study that was completed that found that Black men are the most involved out of any race in their children's life. They might not marry the actual the parent of their children because Black people don't necessarily participate in marriage, but they are more active in their children's lives on a day-to-day basis, which includes feeding them, bathing them, reading to them, putting them to bed, things like that, than any other race. And so like all of these things are just like myths that are perpetuated to continue to actually pretend as if like Black people are just so bad or evil or some weird shit. But it also gives the ability to absolve the group of people that have overwhelmingly disenfranchised everyone, taking it back to white men specifically, right? And that's why I said, like, you can talk about whether or not white men, voted for Donald Trump because of racism, sexism, classism, but you can't disavow the fact that white men have blood on their hands throughout the history of our country, and they continue to harm everyone with their beliefs of like superiority, and that includes themselves.
So how do you stop? My question is, how do you stop this? Because you have these, I've never heard these like beliefs before, but they're pretty interesting. But how do you like stop it? Because it doesn't sound like this is something a president can change. It just sounds like it's like, so like, is there any stopping it, or is it just going to be like this?
It's up to us. It's literally up to us. Now, are you a white man?
The actual people who are racist are not, it's not like up to them. And I feel like they're never going to change.
Oh, they can be. But like the question I have, are you white?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm Jewish, but Middle Eastern. But
yeah, but like being Jewish isn't your race. But yeah, okay. It's up to you, right? It's up to white men to lead the movement to dismantle white supremacy. And now it's up to everyone else to actually have a supporting role, to do a part in dismantling all of these systems that disenfranchise everyone. But literally, we have to have white men lead this effort. It's going to take the people that benefit from privilege in order to actually dismantle the systems that privilege contains. That's why I have like white privilege / white supremacy. Same coin, different sides, the two wings of the same bird. They go hand in hand. White privilege is upheld by white supremacy, and white supremacy is necessary to have white privilege. So it's going to take white men specifically stepping up, educating themselves, and actively fighting to dismantle these systems and dismantling to remove the privilege that they have, and then we can fix it together. But that's like with all of these systems, right? The patriarchal system, it's going to take you and me together, men, the ones that benefit the most from the patriarchal system, stepping up to dismantle it so women and femme-presenting people can actually have equity and equality within our society.
Yeah, I feel like that just the problem with me is that like I'm growing up in a very like wealthy town, wealthy just household. So I feel like it's hard for me to get that reach because literally everyone in my town is privileged. Like even the people, the Asian people or the Black people, they're all like super privileged. We all go to country clubs and stuff like that. And so I feel like it's kind of hard for me to like get that exposure. I feel like when I go to college, hopefully I'll like get that different perspective, but I'm kind of like stuck in a bubble in a way, and I don't see any of the like bad stuff that's happening.
Well, I'll tell you this, like the interesting thing about our society today is that we live in, I said this, the internet made the world so small, right? Think about it. Right now, you and I are sitting here talking. What state are you in?
New Jersey.
You're in Jersey. You're on the East Coast. I'm in Washington State. I'm on the West Coast. We're 3,000 miles apart, sitting here talking as if we're in the same room. There's a total of about 2,000 people listening to you and I talk that are not only here within the US, but all around the world. The internet and the fact that we have this ability to connect has made the world so small. That's why we know about the genocide that's happening in Gaza. That's why we know about the slave trade that's happening in the South Sudan. That's why we know about the slave trade in the Congo and Eritrea. That's why we know about all of these travesties around the world. So just saying that, you know, your proximity is blinding you because of your privilege, like that's an excuse. We have the ability to not only read, educate ourselves, but we have the ability to find information that we want to find. So you got to find that. You got to take that initiative to like go out and like strip away your privilege, because it's not going to just happen.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you having a conversation with me. I did learn a lot.
I appreciate you coming up. This was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good one.
You as well. It was a good conversation. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you, just like Holly. That was in the chat for Holly. Holly sent a $3 donation saying, second interview secure for next week. Fuck, I told you, Holly. I told you could do it. Let's fucking go. Guys, W's in the chat for Holly. Congratulations. I've been listening poolside while we finally get a break from the rain here. And Cincy, listen, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Have a great day. W's in the chat for Rodrigo for the $2 donation saying, question, I'm not black or gay, but I can't stand slander. What can I tell other people when they're like, well, at least you're not black, or say homosexual slurs as in a friendly way to their friends as just the acceptance of hatred in any form, the acceptance of racism, like queerphobia or any of those things, they literally sow the seeds and open the door to more. So you have to snuff those out immediately. You have to say, well, just because I'm not black doesn't mean that I can't actually stand up and believe in, you know, freedom and liberation for black people and equity. Just because I'm not queer doesn't mean that I can't stand up for human rights and for queer people. You can't let people try to actually say shit and hide it under the guise of like, oh, I'm just joking. It's just funny. Ha, ha, ha. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Call them out. And that's just the truth. W's in the chat for Michelle for the $5 donation saying, I'm a white woman and I want to do my part to fight white supremacy. I thought about joining my local NAACP. Wonder what you think of the organization and if it's a place for me or if it's a black only space. I continue to educate myself, but the next step is to fight in action. The overall premise as far as finding revolutionary vanguards that would actually be able to push forward an effort is absolutely something that I recommend. I don't know if I can really recommend the NAACP. I think that over the years, it has been not only politicized, it's been an organization that has been whitewashed to the highest level and it's been made palatable. And so I don't know if I can sign off on them doing quote unquote good works. So, I mean, maybe it's different for you locally, but on a national level, W's in chat for Angela for the $15 donation saying, thank you for the info, the election info. Wow, absolutely, Angela. W's in chat, thank you so much for that $15 donation. W's in chat for Marie for the $1 donation saying, for this kid, I grew up exactly like you did, and I felt I didn't have much reach. Where I'm from sounds exactly the same. College will do a lot for you if you choose to use the opportunity. It's easy to find a bubble again if you don't choose to leave it. Exactly. Facts. Fucking facts. W's in the chat as well for Alejandro. What up, Alejandro? Who sent a $10 donation saying that was one of the best conversations on race I think I've ever heard, and I learned so much. Thank you for taking the time and patience to explain to everybody and teach everybody your knowledge. Listen, it's just things that I've learned along the way. But if it wasn't for not only like some of the amazing people that I learn from on a day in, day out basis, some of the people that I platform all the time, and then also some of the reading that I've been doing, the knowledge that I've been gaining, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now. So I appreciate the hell out of you. W's in the chat for Amanda, who used their YouTube subscription to say, OMG, cutie, it's our 1 month Annie, LOL, love your hat today and love your lessons every day. I learned so much from you. Super grateful community member. W's in the chat. Happy 1 month anniversary when it comes to being a YouTube subscriber. W's in the chat. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Hi, Mad. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I disagree with the white supremacy. I was just here for your other debate, and I just don't understand how Black people don't have the ability to be racist.
What does that have to do with the white supremacy point? Those are two different things.
I don't really.
And just really quickly, Matt, for TikTok purposes, can you verify your age?
Oh, I'm 18.
18? Okay, cool. Question. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I had to reply to a message. Do you believe that white privilege and white supremacy are an actual thing and like they are codependent?
100%. I do believe that, like, you know, there's so much white privilege in the world and that people just, you know, walk around all day and just don't understand that, you know, they're just so ungrateful for all the stuff that are given to them and how other people are just treated so much differently. You know, I personally, I just feel like Black people shouldn't, they can also be racist. Like, there's no...
Prove it.
Prove it? Well, I'm a white, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm white, and I've moved schools so many times in my life. I've been around different, you know, groups of people, and personally, like, I have experienced racism. And then also, there's a girl that I know that she was doing, like, you know how, like, during calls, like, a lot of the people are Indian and stuff like that, and, like, they don't, like, their main language isn't English. Well, we were on the phone one day, and she was telling me about an experience she had, and just right off the bat, she was just straight up, just flat out angry, just angry at this person because their first language wasn't English, and starts just screaming about how they're stupid and this and how they want a white person to be on with them and all this stuff. And she was Black. And
it sounds like a really cool story.
Okay, well, thank you very much. But
no, that's not. I'm not saying cool in the sense of like, oh, awesome. I'm saying like, I don't know what substance this story actually provides because it's unquantifiable.
I'm just saying that she was flat out racist to a person that she had no idea, like, they're just trying to help her out.
Right, but what I'm saying is your story that you just gave me is unquantifiable. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, you said that happened, right?
Yes, I swear it did.
Okay, nuh-uh, I swear it did. Now who's right?
I don't know.
Exactly, because we can't quantify it. So I'm not saying that you're lying or like your story didn't happen, and like I'm not even saying that we can't even deep dive into like the parameters and the different things that exist. But the one thing that I am saying is, like you said, that Black people can be racist, and I said prove it, and proving it means like there's quantifiable evidence, not a cool story. So I would need something that like is tangible as far as how Black people can be racist.
Yeah, so sorry, I haven't really been on one of these before.
Oh, good.
So I'm just not like, I guess I'm not as like educated and stuff. And I was listening to your last, I don't know if you call them debates, but I was listening to you know, you educating the last person, and I guess I wasn't really understanding how like every single race also can't be racist. Like
Race and racism was created at the behest and benefit of white people. It was literally made so they can disenfranchise and marginalize other people. And so since they created and they hold the levers of the power structure, and especially because they're the predominant class within the United States of America, they have no ability, or no one else has the ability to weaponize and access the levers of racism. They can perpetuate, you know, racist rhetoric or ideology towards other non-white people. You know, you talking about like Black people using racist tropes or things like that towards like Asian people. That's what's called triangulation, right? It's literally them using the actual tools in a limited way of white supremacy, but it's not something that can actually benefit Black people. Like race and racism has a specific function and an actual end game and a reason why it exists. And race and racism doesn't exist to like just be mean or to say mean stuff. It literally exists to disenfranchise anyone that's not white while giving them the proximity to power and wealth, i.e. capitalism.
Yeah, can I get like your exact definition on what you believe racism is?
I don't really care about definitions. Like, I think definitions, when understanding a complex system that ranges for hundreds of years, like, I think that's silly. I mean, I guess we can boil down a definition, but that does nothing when it comes to understanding the functionality and how it's actually used and weaponized.
Well, can I just give you like what I believe racism to be? And like why I think that anybody can be racist. Like
you can tell me, but then you would still have to like you can tell me, but you would still have to actually quantify it with actual tangible data and empirics. So like you saying that I'm going to sit here and tell you I don't care. I'll accept whatever definition of race and racism you give me. I'll say yes. Like I'll literally say yes. But then when you talk about the functionality and how that actually exists and persists as a system, you're going to have to display to me how that works within a system. So if you're going to lean on that definition, it's going to do nothing for you. I mean, if you want to say it, fine. I'm just going to say yes. I don't really care about definitions.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say definition now because of what you said. I just think that anyone, regardless of their race, can be biased to another person.
Racism isn't about bias. It's literally
that, like,
go ahead, sorry.
I mean, no, you're okay. Sorry, you were talking.
No. Go ahead.
I mean, I feel like, you know, racism is just flat out, you know, I have family members that are extremely racist. Like, I don't hang around them. I've cut them out of my life. I just feel like it's any person. Like, we would be walking down the street and they would see a Black person and just say something disgusting about them. And that's what I feel like racism is. You just see someone and automatically, without knowing anything about that person or anything like that, you're just automatically assuming certain things about them.
Okay, let's do this. Because we've already agreed that in order to prove that, you know, Black people can be racist, then we would need empirics and data. But I'm gonna, you know, assume and grant that you don't have that. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, I don't have.
No worries. So how about this? Let's do anecdotal. Right? You know what that means?
No, I do not. Sorry.
Okay. You said that you have experienced racism, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's give anecdotal stories, which means you tell me about the experience that you have that you can think of, which is like the most racist thing that you've actually come across, you know, give me the details you got, how that made you feel, think, blah, 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 right? And then after that, I'm going to do the same thing, and then we can compare our experiences and see how that goes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Give me 1 second though. I'm going to say thank you to a couple of people, and then I'm going to give you the floor. That was in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi. What up, Lord Tamayoshi, for the $20 super chat to say, in America, Asians are viewed as the model minority fact group and doing everything right, but white people in other minorities, white people to other minorities, but when they step out of line, they're treated the same as other minorities, sometimes even worse. Facts. Literal facts. W's in the chat for Lord Tamayoshi for the $20 YouTube super chat. W's in the chat as well for Monica, who sent their YouTube membership monthly message saying, thanks for answering my question about the NAACP. My dad was a lifetime member and I've been torn joining. Do you have any other suggestions? I would say look for like actual local grassroots communities that's trying to engage in revolutionary work. Like the only reason I'm pushing back on the NAACP is just because I think that it's strayed far from the original intended purpose, and I don't trust the politicization and the way that they've been able to profit. So, it's just a personal thing. W's in the chat, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, guys. 1.4 thousand or 1.5 thousand people hanging out here on TikTok. Look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. And knock out the donuts and only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. All right, Matt, the floor is yours. Give me your story, your best example of you experiencing racism.
Okay, so I have moved to multiple different schools around my life, and whenever I first moved into high school, it was a new town in Maryland. I'm just gonna say that. It was a new town in Maryland, and there was primarily only Black people there. I was one of the few white people in the town. Me and my family had just moved there. My parents had just gone through a divorce, and going to that school for the first time, it was different because, everybody else, I don't have any friends, I've never talked to anybody. It's a whole new state I'm moving into. And I'm sitting down at lunch by myself and a group of people just walk up to me and literally just start like calling me names and, just the regular stuff like cracker, that's not, as bad. They start calling me cracker and all this stuff and basically just making fun of my clothing, making fun of me. And I couldn't do anything about it. So I am a snitch. I'm gonna be honest. I go to the principal and they just don't care. Principal just doesn't care. Can't do anything about it. And I go back to my mom and I just have to live with that for like a few weeks until finally I found another friend. And it's almost like bullying. I'm just gonna say that now. It's almost like bullying, but it was mainly off of like they're just bullying me because I was white. And because I was new and there was nothing I could really do. Like that's really all my story. And I know it's like I know you've probably experienced way worse than I have. I've been bullied pretty much all my life. So I'm kind of used to that at that point. So it doesn't really sound as bad to me. But yeah.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to say I'm sorry to hear that happen. Kids can be mean. It can be hard adjusting to like new environments, new places, being accepted. It's very much a tribal thing, right? And a lot of times people go through like a hazing ritual in order to be accepted. And so there's so many different layers to that. But is there anything else that you want to share about that experience?
Not really. It just took like, a few months to finally get over and find somebody else that would, defend me. Mm-hmm. But sorry if you hear squeaking. I have a very like squeaky desk chair.
You're good. But at the end, like you were able to get over it and like, just move forward. Over time, I just had to, purposely ignore, group of kids, like certain groups of kids. Like there was this one girl. Wait, I don't want to add new stories to it. I want to stick with that.
Oh no, you're okay.
like, did you have to do anything additional, like change schools or go to therapy or get a restraining order or like change your identity or anything?
I had to fill out like this harassment form because I did end up getting jumped like outside of like during the schoolyard.
By
I got
how
jumped
many?
by this one girl. What do you mean? How many people?
Jumping means there's more than one.
Oh, I got jumped by like 3 different girls.
Petty, you were off. Petty said 4. You're wrong, Petty. It was 3. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, all right. I got jumped by 3 different girls. We had like this big track outside, and I had to fill out like a harassment, form against them. And my mom was trying to press charges, but I just said to get over it. Because I don't know if you know, but like
K did have 3.5. You took the over, K. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that I don't know if you know about this, but like if there's often parts where people are scared to say something, because if you get other people involved, like it sometimes it makes the other person more aggressive towards you. So I was kind of just scared of doing that, and I had to fill out multiple forms against people, and they weren't allowed to be in like a certain vicinity during school like hours.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's about it. Like that's all I really experienced was just being new and being white. I feel like if I went in there with a different race, I wouldn't have been as discriminated against.
Okay. All right. So I'll share my cool story. The first and youngest memory that I have as far as being exposed to racism, I'm from the South, and of course a black man from the South, but I wasn't always a black man from the South. At one point I was a wee baby, a little boy in the South, but I was still black, but I wasn't a man, I was a boy. And one day, myself and 3 other of my friends, we were walking to a local church to go play basketball. We were 8, right? And we were old enough where we could walk up the street to the church by ourselves to go play basketball. It's the summertime, so, no harm, no foul. It was about 10 a.m., right? And so we were walking in South Carolina and going to play basketball. 4 8-year-old black boys walking up the sidewalk, minding our business. And as we're walking up the sidewalk to go play basketball at a local church, there is a car that comes flying up the street. And the car, there's 2 young white men, approximately in their early to mid 20s, right? And as they are flying up the street, they lean out the window and scream, N-word, 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 hard R, right? To 4 8-year-old boys, 4 8-year-old black boys walking up the street in South Carolina, going to play basketball at a church. And now me, like I've always had a bit of a defiant spirit and, a loud mouth, even when I was a wee baby. And so when those 2 20-some-year-old white men came riding up the street in their car screaming N-words at 4 8-year-old black boys, I, in defiance, said some stuff that I shouldn't said, but I was like, F you, all right, because I had heard that before. So like I knew how to throw that word around. And so I was like, yeah, F you. And after I said that, they heard me. And so those 2 20-some-year-old white men who had just drove by 4 black 8-year-old boys screaming the N-word at us as we were walking to play basketball at a church, did a U-turn. And not only did they do a U-turn, but they did a U-turn and we were walking up the sidewalk. They did a U-turn and drove their car onto the sidewalk to actually block us, right? And they get halfway out of the car. They didn't open the doors. They just leaned out of the window. So they were sitting on the edge of the window. And so now there's these 2 white 20-some-year-old men in the South, in the summer, South Carolina, who have driven their car up on the sidewalk in front of 4 8-year-old black boys that are walking up the street to go play basketball at a church. And since they screamed the N-word at us, I had said, F you. They decided they were going to like cut us off, and they lean out the car and they say, what did y'all say? Me not, you can say I didn't have survival instincts or just hella defiant. I started to double down on it, but one of my best friends actually jumped in front of me and stopped and said, "Oh, he didn't say anything, sir. We're sorry. We're so sorry. We're so sorry." And they were like, "Yeah, that's what we thought." And they got back in the car, and these two 20-year-old white men who actually had pulled their car up on the side of the road to cut off four 8-year-old black boys that were walking up the street to go play basketball at a church, after they had called us the N-word, pulled their car over to intimidate us, got back in their car and pulled off, right? And in that moment, I learned two very, very, very interesting things. One, as a 8-year-old black boy in South Carolina, me being a child does not exclude me from being in harm. And two, that white people will weaponize racism to feel superior. And if you push back on it, your life is literally on the line. Because those two 20-year-old some odd white men could have done whatever they wanted to the 4 8-year-old black boys. There was no one around. We didn't have adults. Like, we didn't know who they were. They could have did anything and hopped back in the car and left. But that was my first brush with racism, which intensified as I got older. But that's when I realized, like, hey, me being black is something that I'm going to have to deal with the rest of my life. And so that experience shaped the way that I engage with people for the rest of my life. That's not something that I can let go. That's not something that I can forget, because it literally shaped the foundation of how I engage with people, understanding that I may be a man, I may be a TikToker, social influencer, I might do politics, I might have a straw hat. It may be all of that. I can grift on the internet and make money. I can go on Jubilee and do videos. I can, meet politicians. I can shake hands with any and everyone. But at the end of the day, I'm still black. And I'll be black first. And since I'll be black first, no matter what I do, where I go, what I make, I'm still going to be looked at less than, and I'm going to be disenfranchised because I'm black.
I'm very sorry that those things happen to you. And I looking at it, I understand that my experience means nothing compared to probably the things that you've experienced during your lifetime. And again, I am truly sorry that those things happen to you. I understand that there's just some people in the world that just really do not care, and they go out just doing extremely stupid things. I know this kid, after a game was
2 seconds.
to,
I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
No,
hey,
you're okay.
Matt Nuclear, you fucking suck. You suck ass. You're weak. And you get dog walk anytime you step in front of a mic. I've never seen someone get their ass kicked as much as you get your ass kicked. You are literally someone that gets shat on no matter who you talk to. That's the funniest thing. How the fuck are you getting your ass kicked every time you step in front of a mic? That has to be embarrassing. You said that I'm a victim. You're literally a victim, bud. You're in danger. You don't get it. You're in fucking danger, and you're too stupid to actually know that you're in danger. Anyway, I apologize. Go ahead.
You're okay. I know a kid that literally just went in the heart of Baltimore screaming the N-word out of his window because he thought it was funny.
Sorry, guys. We don't have to mute. We don't have to mute him. There's literally no reason to mute that donut. Like, seriously, he offers nothing. We don't have to mute him. It's okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're okay. And it definitely was not funny whatsoever. It's not a joke to just be racist because you think it's funny. There's also a lot of people that there's a trend going around right now about bringing back people saying that being Jewish is bad and all this stuff. And I was surrounded by a family of people who were just flat out racist, thought it was funny, would just say the N-word, and they're white all the time. I'm not around them anymore. That was in my past. I don't want the people, the chat and the people to think that I'm saying that my experience is worse than yours or something like that. I'm just saying that I feel like I've experienced it, and a lot of it is bullying. I am going to admit to that.
Well, see, but this is the issue, right? This is why I said, like, at the very beginning, it's just a cool story. Because, like, while you shared your experience and I shared my experience, it's still like a cool story. Because while I absolutely know that this happened, there's no way for you to quantify and prove what I said to be true. And that's the dangerous part, of sitting here saying, like, oh, anyone can do this thing or anyone can experience this thing. And that's why, like, actual empirics is so important. So, like, going bar for bar on, like, racist stories, sure, howdy partner, like, that's a thing. But what's more important is, like, being able to emphatically prove these things. Like, I can prove the disenfranchisement of Black people and non-white people as a whole. And, like, I can also show you how people are being actively harmed and marginalized. I mean, can you show me how, due to their race, that white people are actively being harmed and marginalized?
I really cannot, because a lot of it, there's just not evidence for that. And I am going to be honest, like, I don't have evidence to sit here and prove that white people are getting discriminated against. And it's not just white people. I'm not just saying that Black people are discriminating against white people. I think it's that they can also be racist to other people. Like, I've seen Black people make jokes about other Black people
that's anti-Black.
Extremely inappropriate jokes.
That's not racism. That's anti-Black. Okay. The reason why I say Black people can't be racist is because, again, we've already talked about, like, the mechanisms and levers of race and racism, how it was created, how it persists, and how it exists today. And while Black people can't be racist, they can be anti-Black, they can be prejudiced, they can be bigoted, they can be mean, they can be all of these other things. Hell, they can engage in triangulation. What up, Peach? Where they perpetuate the same type of harm via white supremacy, but they cannot actually engage in racism. That's not how it works.
Okay, that actually makes so much more sense.
Solid, Solid, you just getting here. Yeah. No lie, and you can check with the chat. I've been giving you credit. I've been stealing your argument bar for bar. Like, I've been solid. I've been putting people on game, but I did give you credit. Anyway, I apologize. Go ahead.
You're okay. I said that makes like so much more sense to me now. Also, a lot of people are thinking that I'm thinking that racism is joking. I don't think it's joking. And someone said that making a joke isn't racism. If you are screaming out, like, outside your window the N-word at people in Baltimore and think that's a joke, that is racist. That's exactly what you're saying is happening to you. They just started screaming the N-word at you. Someone said that's a joke.
I think you might have missed the point of my story.
No, I understand the point, but I'm just saying that, like,
what was the point of my story?
The point of your story was that even it doesn't matter your age, you are still being, targeted, and people are still going to be racist to you no matter your age. It's your color that is, making them racist.
You do understand that them actually calling me the N-word was, like, the least of the story.
It was, them. I understand what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that someone else said something like that in the chat.
Right, but, like, you saying someone hanging out the window screaming the N-word, like, and I've said this to the other guy, you may or may not have heard me, but, like, if the only form of quote unquote racism that Black people had to experience was someone calling us the N-word, if we didn't have to deal with financial, if we didn't have to deal with medical, educational, like, if we didn't have to deal with all of the other parts of racism, it was just them saying the N-word, we take it. Like, that's an easy dub. If that was the only thing that we had to deal with when it came to racism, was them saying that, that's an easy dub. So
yeah, I understand, like, your life was in danger, like, like you were being threatened. I understand that. There's people thinking that I'm arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. I just simply do not understand. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it, and I really do appreciate you, like, helping me around it. Like, I am always in Dean's lives and Parker's lives every single night, and I see you in there pretty often. And I don't want people to think I'm MAGA. Like, that dude's fucking disgusting. I hate him. I just didn't understand, and I wanted you to help me understand. And I do understand.
Wait, so you said you're in Dean and Parker's live all the time, which W's my little brother. But how often are you in my live?
In your live?
Mm-hmm.
I don't normally catch your lives as often. Like, this is normally the time I'm in the gym and stuff like that. I don't know if are you like on like a regular time?
Yeah, this is my regular time.
Yeah, I'm normally at the gym at this time. I'm just going later today. So I'm not normally in your lives, so I don't really know how your lives run.
Yeah. So like, is this the first time you've actually seen one of my lives?
No, I've been to like 2 others.
Okay. Have you seen any of the other people that frequent my live, as far as like people that I tend to platform?
Not really, if I'm being honest. This is kind of all new to me, like your live and stuff.
Okay.
I know things probably run a lot different.
Yeah, what I will say is, like, I think that my live absolutely serves a function, and like I appreciate being able to have the reach that I have. I think that's really important. But I think if you want to talk about like the people who I would love for you to meet, and if you truly want to learn and grow and be a better person, then you would want to engage with people like Ari, like Super Solid, like Swan, like Covey, like Sean. There's so many people that are more well-versed than me, more knowledgeable than me, more people that are more equipped in a multitude of ways, where if you truly wanted to actually like address these things and better yourself, then getting outside of the said bubble that you're in, and the actual limited view that you may have, that would actually benefit you like a whole bunch. Sorry, a second here. I'm trying to do
okay. I do appreciate that. I mean, I like I grew up in a very conservative household, and I feel like Dean and Parker's lives, like, they're the only ones that I really know. And they've kind of, helped me voice my own opinion. And, that's how I've seen you. That's how I know about you.
Mm-hmm.
I just so happened to come in here, and the last debate, I was just confused on how not every single person can be racist. That was just my only thing.
No, for sure. Hey, so over on YouTube, I have someone, Manders, who is a community member, and what we do here on Sparring with Santana is called Tag Me In, and the Tag Me In feature allows a community member to come up and actually debate for me for a few minutes, as long as there's no friendlies on the line. And Manders has used her Tag Me In, and she would like to actually speak with you. So I'm going to actually pass the mic to Manders to speak with you. And she's over on YouTube, but like I put her on the screen so you can see.
Okay.
Thank you, Santana. Hi, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. What is your name?
Maddie.
Hey, Maddie. I just want to make sure, because it didn't come across as clear to me. You know that story that you told from when you were in high school, that was not racism, right? Like, that, right?
I said part of it was bullying, but I do feel like I was targeted because I was white. Like, there was plenty of other new kids in the school that didn't have anything close to what
I get that. Right, I get that. But you see, what you're failing to understand is that targeting someone simply because of their race does not constitute racism. Racism is a social structure that was used to subjugate Black people, and therefore Black people cannot use that system against white people. It absolutely just cannot happen. You understand that, right?
Yes.
You can call it bigotry. It's definitely bullying. I believe it was just bullying. You could call it bigotry if you really needed to make yourself feel better, but it was just bullying. And probably because they had been harmed by other white people in their lifetime. I just wanted to make sure that was very clear, because you sound very young, but you sound very caring. Like, you sound legit to me. And I want you to be on the right side of history here.
Thank you very much. Like, for sure. I don't know. I guess I'm just not as educated, and I've been trying a lot to be like more,
To try to be completely honest with you, I've been in Santana's community for less than a year, and I was completely ignorant to all of this when I found him. I watch every day. I've learned everything you just heard from him and from other people that he brings up. So if you want to learn and you want to fight the system of racism that is still prevalent in this country, just keep watching Santana.
Okay, I will. I thank you very
And
much.
the other
Like
people.
I do really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Thank you for letting me come up, Santana. I've wanted to do this for so long.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for using your tag me in.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Have a good one. W's in the chat for Manders. Yeah, I think that's important to say in here. And like, I think there's so much more to it, but at the very least, I think having that baseline was something that was necessary.
Well, I do really appreciate you like having me up here and, you know, educating me on more of racism and that it's not just, you know, discriminating against somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I really do appreciate that because, you know, my view was completely different coming in here. And yeah. I just thought that racism was just, you know, calling names and stuff like that and just being straight up, you know.
Yeah. Which it's so much more than that. But yeah, no, yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Debbie's in the chat. Debbie's in the chat as well for Avocado for the $5 donation saying, just a thought, but you ever thought about having your own top most insufferable people's winners? You could have your own donut of the day or Bubby the Pivot Slayer. Other categories loaded. Yeah, you know what? I might actually do that, like daily awards for those people and then engage in all of the fuck shit. W's in the chat for Domo for the $5 super chat to say, ask her if black people can create AI discriminate. Ooh, boy, I got a story to talk about with fucking AI and racism. Guys, the AI is racist. The fucking AI is racist. Fucking crazy. W's in the chat for the donos. Guys, if you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and links are in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep power tapping. Please keep power tapping. It looks like someone is butthurt. And since someone is butthurt, we just got a 10-minute violation. So we got to power through that 10-minute violation. So can we knock out the daily gift goal is to let them cooks? Can we also tap the screen? Can we do all the necessary things to actually help the live? And maybe it's because I said the AI was racist. Maybe that's why I got flagged. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. That was in chat from Melissa for the $5 donation saying, are you good on reads or would you put reviews in Discord? I would love to see/hear more of your reviews on what you're reading. Thank you all for what you do. Maybe, yeah, I could definitely put some of my reviews right now. Right now, I'm reading. Let me see if I can get someone else up here. Sorry. 1 second. If this person's gonna load. Derek, it looks like you're not fully loading, so I'm going to drop you down. If you want to request back up, you can do so. Right now, I'm reading Freedom is a Constant Struggle by Angela Davis. It's really, really good. Like, it's really, really good. Hi, Xmas. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Oh, okay. I don't know if this person's going to load. Anyway, yeah, that's the book that I'm currently reading. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and links are in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, guys. Do all the wonderful things. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Khan, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything in the background? I'll take that as a no. Hi,
Yeah,
Gavin,
hello.
are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything in the background?
Yeah, I support Donald Trump.
Okay. Would you like to tell me why today, June 23rd, 2026, that you still support Donald Jimmy P. Trump, or do you want
Yes, the
to tell me what
23rd
you
drops in 7 hours. Yeah, because he's restricting abortion. He's making it harder to cross the border. He's also better immigration laws in general. He's letting in people for better reasons. I feel like the Democrats just let them in. And I feel like Trump's letting in, like, the Indians to do like tech work and stuff with
You
like
mean Asian people?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Stop
Asian.
spamming
Southern-
stuff like you're literally spamming a bunch of different stuff. Pick one thing that you actually that still gets you to support him today, and let's talk about it.
The one thing. Okay, I thought you were wanting to know my whole reason.
No.
Okay,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
want one thing for us to talk about.
All right, let's do abortion.
Why?
Because abortion's evil and it's disgusting. It's like slavery because it's something that's disgusting that's been normalized in today's day and age, and I don't know why you're still for it.
Okay, just to verify, are you a man?
Yeah. What?
Okay. How many uteruses do you have?
How many uteruses do I have?
Yeah.
Do only women get to talk about abortion?
No, the question is how many uteruses do you have?
I don't think I have one.
Okay, I don't either, and I also identify as a man. So the question I have for you is like, and this is a genuine question. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being rude. This is just absolutely genuine. What actual purpose do you think it serves for two men who actually don't have uteruses, who don't have the ability to carry a life? What utility do you actually see us sitting in front of thousands of people debating human rights when it comes to women and having access to bodily autonomy when neither one of us are directly going to be impacted by whatever decision does or does not happen?
Okay. Yeah, but the future generations will be impacted. But we could also show, I guess, if you're scared of men talking about it, maybe we could teach the women that think it's okay, show them how it's wrong. Well, obviously, I'll show them how it's wrong. You're gonna try to show them how it's right.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I mean,
Obviously, we don't have to talk about it. I can talk about.
I hear you, but the point that I'm getting across is like, it's all like fun and game. It's all like theory, right? I don't really like talking about theory because it's theory for you and I. But question for you: what is your actual ideology, your premise of like it being wrong? What is that rooted in?
My sense of morality comes from the Bible.
Okay. So the reason why you believe abortion is wrong is because of your religion. Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I believe in the Bible.
Okay. And so the Bible is the reason why you say abortion is wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So we can talk about the Bible and we can talk about the justification that is or is not within the Bible. I don't think it serves any utility for us to debate whether or not women should have access to healthcare. But I am super interested in talking about whether or not the Bible actually says that, abortions are right or wrong.
Thou shalt not kill.
Okay. So that's it. That's all you got?
Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got off the top of my head.
Okay.
I mean, we can.
You're not going to do well, but that's all good. All right. So let's start with the first point. Thou shalt not kill. Right. Murder is what?
The unjust.
No. In biblical sense, not like
in biblical sense.
Yeah.
Murder would just be taking the life of a human being unjustly.
A sin. Murder. Can we
sin?
agree that murder is a
my
sin?
bad. Yeah, it's a sin.
Okay, and the cost of sin is what?
The cost of sin is separation from God.
The cost of sin is death.
Oh yeah,
Like it literally
the
says that in
original
the Bible.
sin. Yeah, the original sin. Adam and Eve caused death. Well, it was Eve. She.
I need you to focus. The Bible says that murder is a sin and the cost of sin is death, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, where does it say in the Bible that abortions or the forcible removal of a child from the womb is considered murder?
Okay, well, yeah, you can get a C-section, so you can remove it if you want.
No, I'm not talking about a C-section. I'm talking about where does the Bible say? See, you again, you want to keep wrapping this into like modern day, and you want to wrap this into science and medicine. I'm only talking about your religious perspective. Where does the Bible say that the forcible removal of a baby from the womb is murder?
Whenever it says "Thou shalt not kill," it's one of the Ten Commandments.
See, the reason why I say is because like the Bible actually gives a prescription as far as how you get an abortion. Like the Bible literally tells you. So you know about the bitter waters.
Not given by God either.
You know about the bitter waters, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
it's
so
not very...
tell me about the bitter waters.
Okay, so let's start. It's simply so that if the woman, if she ran, I think it was if she was accused of cheating on her husband, she would be forced to drink by her husband.
Right. So there's no need for proof, as it says that the husband suspects. So not even accused, but suspects that she had been unfaithful. Go.
Yeah. So if the husband suspects she was unfaithful, he can make her drink I'm just gonna say potion, the bitter waters.
He can't make her do it. Who actually has to do it?
Well, the woman has to drink it.
Who actually does the procedure?
Well, I would assume she just drank it herself. Would the man?
You have to go to a priest. A priest specifically is the one that actually puts together the bitter waters.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then what happens?
Yeah. What happens? She drinks it, and if it's something about her like blood, like not blood. Well, yeah, it is blood. If something about like blood comes out, or I can't explain it. I can
If she had been unfaithful, then the bitter waters would cause her womb to contract and expel what was in her womb, i.e., the baby would be aborted. Now, if that actually happened, what is the penalty for that happening?
What is the penalty? The penalty for who?
The penalty for the baby being expelled from the womb, i.e. aborted, ending the life of the baby.
Well, the penalty of the child would be
death. No, not the child. Not the child. The penalty of the people.
Oh, the people. Well, in my opinion,
not your opinion. The Bible. What's the Bible say?
Yeah, the Bible's. Yeah, actually, the priest should be put to death.
No, the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible
says it in every book of the Torah.
No, you just said
an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
You literally said that you're a Christian, and you said we're dealing with Christianity. And also, again, this is the Bible telling the priests, like this is literally a prescription from God. God is the one that ordained this process. So even under your own belief, are you saying that God should be held accountable for murder?
God, no.
Okay, God, so then what you're saying doesn't make sense, right?
No, I think it very much.
It doesn't, because you saying the priest should be put to death when God literally gave the priest, ordained the priest to be able to do this and gave him the way to do it. That's why I said who can do it, and you said, oh, like they just make a drink. I said no, you have to go to a priest. Like that's a requirement because it's ordained by God.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't.
So perfect. So when that's actually ordained by God, then the actual penalty it's actually listed in the Bible. Would you like to know what the penalty is?
The penalty is for the people? Sure.
It's a fine.
It's a fine of 100 pieces of silver, huh?
I would have to look up the exact amount, but it's a property crime.
Okay.
So, question for you: if we've already established that murder is a sin and the cost of sin is death, but abortion, which is ordained by God and the prescription is given by God, and if the actual contraction of the womb occurs and the baby is expelled and the baby is lost, then it's a property crime that must be paid. It sounds like abortions don't equate to murder.
I will say they use the bitter waters to see if she was actually pregnant. Nowadays we have stuff like ultrasounds.
I don't care about like what we have today. We're talking about the Bible. We're talking about your actual. Well, no, because you want to talk about abortion today. The only thing that I said I'm willing to talk to you about is your actual reasoning, and the point that I'm making is your reasoning isn't sound. We haven't even talked about the
reason, because back in 3,500 years ago, we didn't have the technology to see if she was pregnant. Well, that early on.
That's fine, but like you do understand that you are using the justification of a book that's that old to say that it's bad, but for some reason you want to say, well, the book says it's bad, even though the book doesn't say it's bad. And so since the book says it's bad, that people today shouldn't have access to this form of healthcare.
It's a Homo sapien, and I think killing a human is a sin.
Right. And I said, by what justification? And that's why we're talking about your religious view. And the point that I'm getting across is your religious view. Even the Bible doesn't say what you're saying.
Okay,
you don't see the problem in that?
Can you let me know where's the bitter waters? I forget.
Yeah, Numbers. I would have to look it up specifically. It's in Numbers. I can give you the chapter. But again, can you address what I just said?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that I could like just after I'm done with this, I could just look up how to fight against this talking point, because I mean, you can't name that many Christians that are pro-choice.
I think you're missing the point.
Yeah, my point is that I just don't think I have the talking point right now to defend this, but I'm sure there is an easy defending point, because people like Charlie Kirk,
Numbers 5, 11, 22.
Numbers 5, 11, 20. Wait, what?
Numbers 5, 11, 22. Charlie Kirk was an idiot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was an idiot for sure.
Yeah, and he couldn't defend abortion. And like again, the whole point that I'm trying to make, while you sit here and try to fight against something that's in this book, your entire premise, as far as the book saying that it's bad, is wrong. The only equation that you've been able to make is that it says that thou shalt not kill, deeming murder is a sin. But again, the book literally talks about a way to expel a baby from the womb, and what the penalty
Lord
is.
said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites." A lot of things, Mosaic, I think I forgot how to pronounce it. Oh, M-O-S-I. I actually don't know. Okay, so
Masonic.
A lot of things. Thank you. Are specifically prescribed to the Israelites for some reason. Just like how whenever we go back to Leviticus and all the slave laws, you know, the Jewish Israelite slaves were enslaved for less time for some reason. I mean, this is exactly why the Jews use the Tanakh and Torah as their books, because it kind of helps them be like the superior beings. But
Jewish
anyways,
people.
Sorry, Jewish people. Did I say Jewish?
I need you to really focus on the words that I'm saying, because
yeah, but it also says the Israelites.
No,
I think
stop
this
for
is
a
for the
second.
Israelites.
I need you to listen to what I'm saying. You're building your justification on limiting access to healthcare to women based off of your religious belief, where one, you don't even know your religious belief, because if you actually knew it, then you wouldn't have to say, oh, let me look this up so I can figure out how to fight against this argument. But also two, you would actually be in a position where you could actually defend it from a basis of like reality, not a basis of the book. Hey, question for you. When was the Bible written?
Old or new?
Period.
Old was 1450 BC. New Testament would be well, I know it started getting written around 40 to 50 AD, and then it ended up getting finally like completely published 452 AD, around there.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. They're saying that like there's an issue with my mic. One moment.
Is it mine? Sorry.
Okay, guys, is that any better? Did that help the crackling? Are we good? Yes? Okay, perfect. Sorry. And send your request to come off mute.
Oh man, I was reading the Bible. I didn't know I was muted.
Yeah. The point that I'm getting across is like your premise as far as limiting women on access to healthcare is not even based in the fact that you actually have skin in the game. It's based off of your religious belief, but even the religious text that you say you believe in does not
Yeah, this
uphold
isn't
that.
the knock.
And even with the actual religious texts, you then tried to subvert religious texts with the disposition of modern technology. The point that I'm making is like your argument has so many holes in it.
Well, all right. First of all, I'll start off by saying this also does specifically say he said it to the Israelites, so it was specifically for the Israelites, making it Messianic laws, however you pronounce it. Masonic. Thank you. I'm sorry. And then second of all, it also does just say for adultery. So let's just give the benefit. I'll just say for this argument, because I don't know what else to say. The Israelites, if there is adultery, they have the right to get the.
What's adultery?
What is adultery?
Yeah.
Adultery can be. It's a lot. It's a broad
Yep.
spectrum.
I'm so glad that you said that. Yep. It's a very, very broad spectrum.
So in this instance, it would be cheating on your husband.
Yeah, I mean, but that's instance, but that's not specific. Like the point that I'm trying to get across, and this is the reason why I said, like, when was the Bible written? The Bible was written 400 to 500 years after the passing of
Well, it
Jesus,
started getting written
right?
in 40 to 50 AD.
Right. It was written 400 to 500 years after Jesus, quote unquote, walked the earth.
Well, it got published in
Even more than-
450 AD. He died in about 30. When did he die again?
I don't know. I literally don't know because I don't hold to
About
the
30 to
premise that the
2080
Bible
or
is
40
real.
to 2080.
Like that's the bigger thing.
Or
I'm
be-
sitting here, you and I are going back and forth on this, and the Bible isn't real. Like it's literally not real. It's a collection of cool stories that like people for some reason want to like justify the way people live by cool ass stories. Like it's nonsensical and it contradicts itself.
Yeah, okay, cool stories. I think it's true stories.
I don't care about you thinking that it's true. Okay, you think it's true stories? Sure. Tell me how in the biblical age that people could walk into a furnace and stand in fire but not be burned.
Stand in fire but not be burned. Wait, hold on. Say that again.
How can people back in the biblical days walk into a furnace of
the
fire,
power of God or the power of Jesus, which is God.
And now you're talking about your sky daddy. Why can't people
Like
do
your
that
sky
shit today?
daddy,
If people actually believe
because
so
Jesus
hard,
isn't on this earth.
Well, Jesus
He's up in
wasn't a
heaven.
part of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
I don't even know what that is.
It's literally one of the cool stories in the Bible. See, that's what I'm saying. Like you don't know this shit.
Bendigo, Meshach and Abednego. Okay. Anyways,
Meshach, Shadrach, and the Bendigo.
Okay, so what is that story about? Do you want to talk about it or something?
No, I'm trying. If the Bible's real, yeah, God let them walk into a furnace and not catch on fire. But I'm saying, how does that happen? And you said, oh, it's because of God. And I'm like, all right, cool. Sky Daddy. Sky Daddy is raining down superpowers on people and shit. Why isn't he raining down superpower on people and shit now?
Yeah, because I think because he's up in heaven back like, so whenever we're talking about pre-Jesus coming, God was there to speak to people like Moses. and tell them things. And we're talking about when Jesus came, he was there in person to tell people things and do miracles. Like, I don't know why. You might be able to answer that for me. I don't know why he's not doing
Because they're
things
just
now.
a bunch of fucking cool stories that people continue to try to disenfranchise people with. Like, the shit is so stupid. Like, even when I was someone that was just overwhelmingly saying that I was a Christian, I never believed the Bible. Like, as I went to church at church on Sundays and Wednesdays and went to, like, you know, weekend events and Bible study and all this other shit, I never sat there and said, you know what, the Bible is true. Since I was smart enough to interpret and read and study, I always said, oh, this is an outline as far as like them trying to tell us how we should live our life. They're saying these things are the way that we're supposed to live our life. Like, no, they're not saying that we can't wear mixed fabrics. No, they're not saying that we can't work on Sundays. They're saying, like, you know, hey, you got to be careful what you put on and in your body. You got to take a day off or some shit. Like, it's so fucking weird that you guys try to use this book that isn't fucking real and to like disenfranchise people today. It's stupid. Sorry, go ahead, Ari.
If even God rested on Sundays, why should we not rest?
Yeah, I requested up, especially when he said to teach women something. I find that super hilarious. Because really quickly to that point, teach me about pregnancy.
Teach you about pregnancy?
Yeah. Teach me about like the parts of
so whenever the
female anatomy and all the processes. Also, I just want to give you a disclaimer: my degree's in biology, so don't mess up the process. So teach me about pregnancy.
Okay, so whenever the large and the small gametes meet up, they do something really cool, and conception happens.
No. I want the details, babe.
The details.
Where does conception happen? What is the different stages? The follicular stages.
It happens on the egg wall.
Like I want all of it.
Wall.
The egg wall.
Yeah, the eggs.
The egg wall. What is the egg wall?
It'd be the large gametes.
Bro.
Yeah. So what is the egg wall?
What's the egg wall? Where is that?
The egg wall is located right beside the ice wall. Send Jon Snow.
All right. It'd be located.
Winter is coming. Where's the egg wall?
I don't know. Hold on. First of all, I don't know why you're trying to, like, you want me to tell you everything about a pregnancy?
Yeah, I do.
No, I'm not
you said when you first came up here, you said you wanted to teach women something. Well, I am.
Well, yeah, I want to teach them about the evil they're doing.
I'm a femme. I do have a working uterus that I know of. So I would love for you to teach me, and my degree's in biology, and you might have information I don't, because most of the medical consensus actually believes abortion is healthcare and is necessary. But since you know so much more than doctors and people who actually study bodies and things like that do, I would love to be educated since you want to teach them something.
Yeah, also, just FYI, like, while I find no utility in two men having a conversation about abortion, because neither one of us have uteruses and we don't have real skin in the game.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna.
Still speaking, I do actually find value in women having this conversation. And since Ari is a woman with a uterus, if you want to actually get to that debate that you were hoping for, this is your opportunity. Just don't throw away your shot.
No, okay. So the egg wall would be like the reason God abandoned them due to their shameful desires.
No. I want you to hold on, buddy. Hold on. Backtrack. I'm still on that first question.
And lust for each other.
Gabba.
Did shameful things.
We're just proselytizing now.
Yeah. Hey. You just crashed the fuck out. Muted. What was that?
I was reading the Bible.
Why did you just fucking crash out?
I was reading the Bible for y'all.
Yeah, nobody wants to read the fucking Bible. You don't even. You should go read the Bible in your free time. You don't know the Bible.
I was just reading it.
Yeah, I don't care. You don't know the Bible. Actually engage. This isn't fucking Bible study. No one told you to come up here and read the Bible to us. You literally came up here to debate. So if you want to debate, then actually debate with Ari. Don't read the fucking Bible. That's weird. Don't be weird.
So, I get it, Santana. What he went to teach femmes on is the Bible. Is that true?
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Actually, I have a specific debate topic on this, that Christianity, and you follow the Abrahamic faith. You're a Christian, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's oppressive, it's patriarchal, and it's
Yep.
okay with the rape and subjugation of women. So you
Nope.
okay with that?
It's patriarchal. I love it. Okay, but it's not.
Do you like rape?
The fuck no.
But that's part of patriarchy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nice.
So you like rape? The silence.
Yeah. And the crowd goes mild. We did good.
So
with
you
that
do
one.
like rape because you said yes.
What? No.
You just said yes. You said nice. So you do like rape.
Like the grounding of your morality is rooted in this Abrahamic religion. And so, okay, cool. It's grounded. This Abrahamic religion.
Right, show me
I need
where.
no.
where in the Bible.
I need you to answer this. Do you like rape? Answer the question directly. Since your request to come off mute, yes or no?
I don't
Directly.
like
Do
rape.
you like
No.
rape?
No.
Then why did you say nice and yes?
Because you're fucking like putting words in my mouth and trying to make it seem like I like rape. That's fucking weird.
Well, then why would you agree to it and say instead say no?
I did say no.
No, you
must
didn't.
have
You
missed
said
that part.
nice and you said yes. No one made you say nice and yes.
Yeah, I said nice to the nice tactic of talking about how I like rape.
How about we don't say things that we don't mean? Is that okay?
No, I'm seriously applause at the tactic you're using, saying I like rape.
I'm
It's
saying,
fucking
how
awesome.
about we don't say things that we don't mean? Is that okay?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Ari.
You do.
You do.
You do. Yeah, because your morality is rooted in the Bible, correct?
Yes.
And your Bible thinks rape is cool.
Where?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 22 verses 28 through 29.
Okay.
Yeah. They
28.
present they say that this man who has raped a woman, he's to marry her for the rest of her days.
Yeah.
Do you think it's do you think it's okay to like force a woman to marry her rapist?
Do you think it's okay to punish a rapist?
Hi, answer that question. Don't run from
No.
it. Do you think it's okay to force a woman to marry her rapist?
No.
No, but your God does.
Okay. Do you think it might have been a punishment?
Hi, can you address that?
Jesus Christ.
Your
woman.
God thinks it's cool. Don't pivot away from that. That's his word.
Also,
No, he doesn't.
Also, don't
He
take the
does.
Lord's name in vain.
Shut up, Santana. Fuck
You
Oh, now you're mad.
don't take the Lord's name in vain. You just said that. Don't
Yeah,
make
but
me
I
call
don't
Sky
even care
Daddy and have
anymore.
him strike you down.
Yeah, that's Zeus.
Yeah. So your God says that the woman, and it actually doesn't even consider how she feels, is to marry to her rapist.
Do you know how much
And all
100
he has
pieces
to
of
do,
silver costs?
all he has to do is pay her father 50 shekels, and he's to
No,
marry
it's
her for the rest of her.
100.
50. It says it 50 shekels.
100.
I literally have the verse right here. I can read it. Let's read
Okay,
it out
well,
together.
all right, you're right. It's probably 50 then.
It's 50. Yeah, don't tell me the verse because I have it right here. I have several verses up here that also condone rape. So we're gonna go verse by verse, every
if I show
single
you a
one.
verse that
The
condones
high
it?
shh.
Oh my God, woman,
That
you're so annoying.
you're running. The more you overtalk me, I know you're getting uncomfortable.
Also, don't be fragile. Don't be fragile. You're being fragile.
Is he
Get
running?
back here.
Is he running?
I think he's doing the weird
Yeah,
shit.
I'm
I
getting
think
the
he's
verse.
reporting.
Okay, I can read it out to you too. But we can review it together.
I'm getting the verse to show that rape is bad. If you would have let me go teacup really quick.
So wait,
No, you don't have to do that. How about you?
you have to
engage with
finish
Ari?
addressing
Oh my
before we go
gosh.
to a different verse. You have to finish addressing this
You're
one.
trying to pivot. Like she has
Yeah.
you in.
Do
in
you
the
know how
corner.
much 50 shekels cost, or 50 pieces of silver
What does
shekels
that have
cost?
to do with anything?
What does that have to do with anything? Are we acting
Yeah.
like your God doesn't punish people? Because in the verse right before that, or
No,
the
so
verse is right.
3,500
Hi.
years. Oh my God, woman.
Hey,
I know.
Hey, Gabba, fucking cut it out. Just because you're getting cooked, you sitting here saying, "Oh my God, woman." Yes, the woman is dominating you. Now be a good boy
Yeah,
and
she's
stop
just
acting
like-
up.
Yeah,
Be a good
shocker,
boy.
shocker. He's a misogynist, guys, right? Because he thinks Charlie Kirk. He's like, oh, pro-lifers, obviously. Like, there is not a single pro-choicer who's a Christian, right? Yeah, because they're fucking misogynists. Your religion believes in harming women, so it's not fucking shocking. So boohoo, cry. No one cares about your whining. I'm here for the intellectual violence that you were asking for because you wanted to teach women something, but I'm the one educating you about your Bible.
Suppose
right?
a man meets a young woman. Oh my god, you're so fucking annoying.
I know. I'm going to finish talking now. In the verse right before this one, they literally stone a man. They stone a man for rape. The only difference in the verses is that she was what they detail as pre-claimed, right? She was promised to another man, and if she is promised to another man and then is raped, then they stone her rapist. But because in Deuteronomy 22 verses 28 through 29, she is not promised to a man and she's a virgin, then he is to marry her. So let's not act like they don't punish rapists. Right. The only difference is that if she's already promised to someone else, she's already claimed as someone else's property, or if she is not. And because in this verse that she is not pre-claimed as someone else's property, right? And let's not act like women aren't idealized as property. I literally have verses that detail women are valued at the same quantity in terms of shekels as slaves, and slaves are property, right? That because she is not pre-claimed as property, that he's just to marry her. You think it's cool, to force someone to marry their rapist? Because let's not act like that's a punishment when in the verse right before they actually stone someone.
Yeah, it's definitely a punishment.
Okay, having someone marrying someone and then getting to rape them over and over again is punishment?
Nowhere in the Bible does it say they can do that over and over again.
It literally, if it does not say and exclude that you don't get to do that.
The fuck? So if it doesn't say you can't
yeah,
do it,
so if
do
I
it,
can't consent
that's
to
smart.
marriage,
You're
hi,
smart.
if I can't consent to marriage, because it says nothing about the woman consenting. It literally says nothing about the woman consenting or wanting to be with him. If I'm not consenting to this arrangement, is consent present? That's really important. Hello?
Yep.
Does it say anything about
because you know he's cooked?
Yeah, does it say anything about consent being present and her agreeing to this?
Does it? No.
It doesn't. Oh, fuck. Does it say anything about not continuing to violate her?
Does it say he can violate her?
Does it say anything about not continuing to violate her?
Yes.
Where in that verse?
In this verse. Okay, so that's not how we're gonna.
No, we're addressing this specific verse.
No, law's not verse by verse. Laws holds to every
We're looking
verse.
at the context of all of Deuteronomy. All Deuteronomy is about rape.
No,
a lot of it.
all
There's
of
so much rape in Deuteronomy.
You definitely know about the Bible. All of Deuteronomy is telling us how to build a government. Okay?
Yes. So tell me in where they proclaim this specific, because they're telling you what to do in this scenario, right? When he has already violated her and raped her, seized her. Seize means
you think
by
he wants
force.
To pay another 50
shush. By force, because that's what seize means, and that's in the original Hebrew, is to seize, to force. He has forced himself upon her, right? That he, as deemed by God, is to pay her father 50 shekels and to marry her for the rest of her days because he has violated her. Where does it say after that he's not continue to violate her and that she's in agreement? Where does it say anything about making sure and checking in on her? Hi. Where does it say? Where does it say anything about checking in on her autonomy and making sure she's consenting to the agreement?
I can show you. So it also says in 22 through chapter 22, verse 25 through 27, that he should be put to death. So
that's the verses right before. That's when I was talking about.
Yeah, so he gets put to death.
Hi. I already talked about this. I already talked about. I already talked about this. Then the verses right before. The difference is that she is pre-claimed to another man.
Yeah, but he gets put to death.
Also, like, hey, Gabba, you are really letting your fragility show. Tighten the fuck up. Like, seriously, if you can't have an actual, like, literally, this is the debate that you wanted.
Because she's so
and you're so
annoying.
no. you're so threatened because it's a woman.
This is why patriarchy is necessary.
Yeah, no, it's because you're so threatened because you're a woman. I mean, it's a woman. Like, seriously, if you had a good argument and you actually had a position, you wouldn't have to do this. Like, you're showing your fragility.
Yeah, and you saying that patriarchy is necessary, saying it just shows how much you like rape, because you can't give me an account of patriarchy existing without rape culture. Like, every time a man says they like patriarchy, you're just saying you like rape. So you're just doubling down on the fact that you like rape. It's not looking good for you, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I like matriarchy, guys.
So
No,
yes, I
I like
already
a
addressed. So I already addressed this account, right? And that's what I actually said. So point one for Ari, you already proved my point. Let's not act like your God does not punish men, because he has before, right? In the verse right before 28 through 29, it is when a woman is predestined, she is pre-claimed to another man, pre-promised to another man. She's engaged, right? And if another man comes in and violates her, that is when he is stoned. The difference with 28 through 29 is because she is not engaged. She is not promised to be wed to someone else. And thus, why they do not stone him, because they don't actually care about the rape. They care about the violation of property.
Yeah, but why do you keep leaving that up?
Yeah, I'm just looking at more verses because, I mean, all you're showing is just cherry picking verses. It's kind of weird.
You're still not being able to justify these things. You're cherry picking verses right now to just say, well, what about this verse when we're literally
what about
just
the verse where it says he
verse.
should be put to death? Yeah.
What verse is that?
Yes.
What verse is that?
22, chapter 22, verse 25 through 27.
Right before it, where it
And
talks
also
about being
Leviticus
promised
17.
to be married. Like I said, I can
don't
read it
move
out loud.
of Deuteronomy. No, it's fine. I'm gonna put it on the screen. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get the verse. Don't try to actually jump to another verse. Give me a second here. Let's see. Put this on the screen. Oh, dang it. Sorry.
Got it yet, good or bait?
W's in the chat for Kendra for the $1 donation. Saying, what's your advice for handling MAGA side of the family? I have a biracial daughter who is black and white. I've spoken to my father. I haven't spoken to my father after years of fighting on him and his racism. I speak out against it, but falls on deaf ears. I'm torn between cutting ties with them. I think the priority should be you and your child. And I think that while understanding that like blood makes you related, it doesn't actually make you family. So just because someone shares the same bloodline or lineage as you does not tie you to those people. You know, if those people are overwhelmingly harmful, especially towards your child, then there's nothing wrong with cutting them off. So there's that. Shut up. W's in the chat for
Kendra, you shut up, Santana.
W's in the chat for Kendra for that $1 donation.
He's trying to run.
If anybody else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out.
What's the 25?
I know, but I wanted to make sure that we started a couple of verses prior to that so we can make sure we had the context. All right, let's start here. So we're starting at 20.
So yeah. So if you look even at specifically in the other account that I was speaking towards, that is verses 25 through 27. But out in the and which for let me see, you're reading we're reading the same version. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, but out in the country, a man happens to meet a young woman pledged to be married and rapes her. Only the man who has done this shall die. You see the difference? Doing nothing to the woman, she has committed no sin deserving death. This is the case this case is like that of someone who attacks and murders a neighbor. For the man found the young woman.
Hold on. Gabba, did you call me the N-word?
No, I did not.
Oh, they said you said it twice.
No, I promise either you or Ari would have heard that.
Oh, no. Stop for a second. It's all good. Give me a moment. If you just did that, that's the weakest thing that you could have possibly done. Please
you would
tell
have
me
heard
you
me
didn't
say
actually
the
do
N-word.
that. Say it
you would
again?
have heard it. You would
Okay.
have heard me say the
Don't
N-word.
don't worry. We'll run it back. Give me a second.
Someone in the chat said they heard gator bait.
Oh, did you call me gator bait?
Wait.
Did you say that?
matter? What does that matter though?
Did you say that?
That he's admitting it.
No, I'm
So
not.
you did
Oh,
call me gator bait.
what the
Why did you
fuck?
say that?
Because you're fucking being annoying. That's why.
Oh. So instead of just saying the N-word with your chest, you say gator bait because that's a fucking dog whistle. You fucking coward. You've gotten your ass kicked this entire time, and instead of actually taking your ass whooping and standing up on an
Genesis
actual, shut the
1:27.
fuck up. Instead of standing up on an argument that
Romans
literally
1:27.
gave you anything, you ran to a dog whistle, rooted in racism because you're so fucking fragile. Like
Romans 1:27.
literally, shut the fuck up. Your Bible isn't real and no one gives a fuck.
Genesis
And if your Bible was real, you would be going to hell. Like literally, you would be in hell with Charlie Kirk. Like that's
All
the
right,
fucked up shit about this. If God actually believed in any of the shit that you think he believes in, then you would be in hell. Because you're the worst of worst. You are so far from being Christ-like. Instead of actually trying to reach your fellow man, instead of actually trying to labor and minister to people, you were sitting up here talking about women and gator bait. You're going to hell. If you better pray to your God that you better pray to your God that heaven and hell doesn't exist, because if it does, you will be burning alongside of Charlie Kirk and Hulk Hogan, and you have a fucking idiotic point of view. You don't know anything. Like that's the wildest shit. You're stupid and you don't know things. But yet you came up here trying to debate without knowing shit. You're mediocre at best. Fuck out of here.
What does gator bait mean?
Fuck out of here.
I'll take that as a concession because that was intentionally to run. That was
Literally.
STR.
He literally did that so he could run.
Yeah. WRE in the chat. Obviously, a man couldn't teach me anything because I'm smarter than you. Blah, 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 blah. Womp, womp. You suck. I know your Bible better than you.
Like, it's the craziest thing. He doesn't even know the Bible. But yet he's trying to weaponize the Bible without knowing the Bible. Fuck out of here. Anyway, Ari, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you for having me. Bye.
That was in the chat for Ari. Guys, hey, listen. We still have about 1,500. Yeah, we are smoking on that Metcalf pack. We're definitely smoking on that Metcalf pack. Anyway, guys, we still have like about 1,600 people watching right now. I want to do something that's really important. I want to do something that's really, 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 really important. It's been a while since we have had the opportunity to come together as a community and help someone that's in like real need. But we have a community member, and a lot of you guys might have come across our community member. Her name is Feisty. She's Feisty Bot. She's not only a part of our community, but a part of so many different communities, right? She's all over the place. She's literally someone that is a mod for us, someone who is actively day in, day out doing all the things to actually help in every single way that she can. And today we need to come together to help her, and not just help her, but her family. They're actually in a dire situation. This is something that she wrote up. I'm going to read this. I'm having trouble staying sheltered and healthy as my mom is not well. She was hospitalized the day hospice. Sorry. The hospice froze, went into effect in California, and it's been financially struggling. I'm doing my best to stay healthy as I have my own issues, but losing access to specialties have made me more ill as well. I'm scared and I'm going to be homeless and unable to care for my mom. Feisty, again, is someone that's actively a part of our community, but her mom is in hospice. She has health issues. She's unable to actually, just work as needed. And she's on the brink of actually being put out on the street. So what we're looking to do today is we're going to try to raise $2,000 in mutual aid to help take care of Feisty and her mom, to keep the end of life care going for her mom, so we can make her mom as comfortable as possible and then also to help Feisty make it through this tough time. Right, so there's a total of $2,000 that we're trying to raise as a community. There is a total of about 1.3 thousand of us hanging out here. So if we could all send $2, that's it. That's it. If everyone that's watching can send $2 to the pay links, we can take care of Feisty. We can take care of our community member. We can help someone who is desperately in need, someone who has health issues themselves that can't just go out and work, and who is trying to take care of their mother who is at end of life. So guys, please, 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 if you can do it, $2, that's it. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. And you guys know what we're going to do. Once you send that over, I will be posting the receipts in the Discord. I will make sure that we have transparency so you guys can see the money is going directly to where it's supposed to go. And if you are not in the Discord, you can request that actual receipt to ensure that that information is being shared. But guys, please, please, please send it through the pay links. Do not send it through YouTube. Sorry, guys, it cannot go through YouTube. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you can send $2, if everyone could send $2, that's all it takes. We can take care of a community member that is in need. Feisty has not only been someone that has been a staunch community member in our community and other communities. Feisty is one of our mods. Feisty is a person that shows up day in, day out, even while dealing with medical issues on her own. She is still someone that shows up every single day to try to do her part, to try to take care of others. And it's absolutely amazing. So guys, when we say it's about community, this is not something that I just say because it sounds cool. This is not something that I say because it's nice. It's not just in the intro because it rhymes. It's literally who we are and who we say it's who we are. It's what we stand on. And this is the time. This is literally the time. I'm going to start adding this up again. Over 1,000 some odd people still hanging out. If everyone can just spare $2, that's it. $2. $2. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If everyone could just do $2, we can close this out and we can ensure that Feisty is able to stay housed, that her mother's end of life care is able to continue, and we can come together as a community. I'm going to start adding these up because we're getting donations in already, and I will have the total updated here in just a moment. Okay, guys, give me a second. This is the first update. This is the first update. All right, so we're trying to raise a grand total of $2,000 for Feisty to help her mom, who is seeking they're in hospice, and her mom was actually placed in hospice the day that the hospice freeze went into place, which is even more crazy. But has been there, and they've been struggling with the medical expenses ever since then. And Feisty is someone who has medical challenges herself. And so it's not like she could just go out and work and all this other stuff. And so as being a member of our community, we want to come together and do whatever we can do to help her. The total goal is $2,000, right? And I said, if everybody just sends $2, we can close out this goal. We can help Feisty. We can help her mother. We can make her mother's life as comfortable as possible. We can ensure that we are doing the things necessary to help a community member, and we can do this together. So currently we are at $548 and $548 of the $2,000 total. So that means we're only $1,452 away. So I'm going to keep adding this up here in just a moment, and then I'll get us another update. Okay, guys, give me 2 seconds. You guys are fucking amazing. Holy shit. This is adding up so fast. It's the fuck I'm talking about. Holy shit. Okay. All right, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Holy shit, guys. Holy smokes. I think we might be very close. Holy smokes. Like no bullshit. This is coming in faster than I can add. And we are so close. Let's see. I think I wouldn't be surprised if by the next update I have that we aren't where we need to be. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Okay, I have an update coming in just 1 second, guys. I have an update coming in just 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, hold on. I think we got it, guys. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. You guys can stop for a second. You can stop for a second. I think we're good. Hold on. Stop for a second. Hold on. You guys can stop for a second. I think we're good. Let me finish this last count. We fucking got it. You guys can stop. We fucking got it. You guys can stop. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Holy shit. Holy shit. That was so fast. You guys can stop. Holy shit. It's still coming in. You guys can stop. You guys are so fucking awesome. Was that 8 minutes? Was that 8 minutes? I think we've done, have we beaten that before? Hold on, let me see when we started. Holy shit. Let's see here. The first donation came in. No, that was like 9 minutes. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It was like 9 minutes. It was like 9 minutes. It wasn't 8 minutes. It was like 9 minutes. Sorry, guys. It was no, you guys didn't get 8 minutes. It was on you. It was on you. It was on you. It was on you. Okay. Oh, I knew somebody was gonna try to do no, Britt. Nope, not me. You said you took too long to add it up. Nope, Britt, you cannot put that on me. Nope. You guys didn't get 8 minutes. Nope. I didn't count shit. So see, look. You guys already know this. You talking about accountability. You got me fucked up. This is not on me. This is on you guys. This is not on me. This is on you. I don't really do accountability. I don't really do accountability. Accountability. That's not really my thing. You guys just sent. Okay, guys, we're good. You were good. We're good. Let me add this in. You guys still are sending stuff. All right, hold on. All right, so we were looking to help Feisty out. Again, Feisty is a community member. Feisty is a mod. Feisty is someone who is here day in, day out, doing all the things that are necessary to help our community be strong, to help our community grow. Feisty is literally someone that continues to actually uplift us and our community. And Feisty is someone who is not only dealing with medical issues, but her mom is in end of care hospice. Her mom has been in hospice ever since hospice was frozen, and they've been struggling with those healthcare bills. And the fact that they've been struggling with those healthcare bills and the fact that she deals with healthcare challenges herself has been something that has overwhelmingly been hard. And like I said at the very beginning, we talk about being community. We talk about helping each other. We talk about lending hands and like taking care and uplifting each other. And that's exactly what we just did. Literally, that's exactly what we just did. Because in each and every one of you, in the moment of need, when our community member is literally coming to us saying they need help, not having to share the fact that they need help, but coming to us and trusting us to be able to do this. This is the one thing that I really appreciate about, like, not only people within our community, but people that come to us and they trust us with being able to do this. They trust us with being able to do this because, one, they know that if we say we're going to do it, then we do it. Two, they know that we believe in transparency and the money that's being sent is the money that goes to them. Three, we ensure that when we actually do this, that everybody gets to know that the thing was done. We don't hide. We post all the receipts. We literally ensure that transparency is at the key and at the heart of everything that we do. And so people continue to come to us and trust us because we deliver, because we are a community that takes care of each other, which is fucking amazing. And I love you guys for that. I love that I can be a part of something and a group of people that actually care about people. I love that we're part of a group of people that care about people. And with that being said, we were looking to raise $2,000 for Feisty and her mother. And in 9 minutes, not only did we reach the goal, we exceeded the goal. In 9 minutes, we were able to raise $2,088. Nope, you can't say 8 minutes. No, you guys don't get 8 minutes. Nope, still 9 minutes. Nope. 9 minutes, you guys raised $2,088 for a community member who was absolutely not only worthy, but absolutely needs it. That's amazing. That's amazing work. I'm so proud of you guys. No, okay, fuck that. They didn't get 8 minutes. I don't care. I'm not giving you guys 8 minutes. I don't care what you say. You guys aren't getting 8 minutes. It was 9. That's on you. It's you. It's not me. It's you. It was 9 minutes. It wasn't 8 minutes. I'm proud of you guys. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know how I could ever like really, I don't know if I could ever really express how much you guys mean to me, and the fact that we, like, not only do we take care of our own, we police our own, we uplift our own, we encourage our own, we grow together. We actively try to make sure that the person beside us, the person that's connected to us, the people in our communities are better people day in, day out. Understanding no one's perfect, but hell, we're trying together. That means the world to me. That literally, literally, literally means the world to me. And I fucking love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the total out of $2,000 in 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm being generous. In 8 minutes and 30 seconds. You guys were able to raise $2,088. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So what'll happen from this point is I will be sending this money over to Feisty. And once we get this money over to Feisty, I will be posting the receipts in the Discord. Again, I believe in transparency. I believe that in showing and making sure that when we say we do something, we do it, and we are good stewards of the things that we are given. And so I will be posting the receipts, and the money will go to Feisty. For people saying what's going on, Feisty, she came to us. She needed support, mutual aid within our community. Her mom has been in hospice care ever since the hospice freeze happened. And so they've been facing the financial burden. And then at the same time of facing the financial burden, they have, Feisty is also someone who is physically limited, right? And so Feisty deals with her own physical issues as well. And so to ensure that her mother is able to have a comfortable end of life care, and Feisty doesn't go unhoused because of the situation and them trying to take care of her mother. They needed help. They needed mutual aid, and we did it together. And we just had one more dono. So the total comes up to $2,090. $2,090. So I will be posting the receipt of that $2,090 in the Discord. If you are not a member and you do not have access to the Discord, guess what? You can still get a copy of the receipt. And the only thing that you have to do to get a copy of the receipt is reach out to Kay. Reach out to Kay. 8 minutes and 30 seconds, Red. Not 8 minutes. You guys don't get just 8 minutes. It's 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm being generous. I'm being generous. That's not 8, Zay. That's not the same, Zay. You can't round it down. I rounded it down and gave you guys 30 seconds. No, fuck that. No, you keep playing and I'm going to push it back up to 9 minutes. No, fuck that. All right. All right. I'm telling you, keep playing and we're going to push it back up to 9 minutes. Keep playing and we're going to push it back up to 9 minutes. And then you guys are just going to have to earn that shit another way. That is not 8 minutes in Santana. No, it's not. Fuck out of here. Count faster. Fuck out of here. Ain't no way. 6 minutes. Now Rocky is just fucking like, what are we doing? Time recount. Nah. We want our pizza party, you promise? We'll have a pizza party. We can do that. We could have a pizza party. Let's do it this weekend. And we just got another $10 donation. You guys are fucking awesome. So that makes it 2,100. 21. Just got 21. Okay. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. Now comes the tough part. Now comes the tough part. Now comes the tough part. Somebody's still waiting to debate on YouTube. Who's waiting to debate on YouTube? Hi, are you a Trump supporter? Disagree with something in the background? Mr. Tomato 4354, are you a Trump supporter? Disagree with something in the background? Mr. Tomato going once. Mr. Tomato going twice. I guess we'll never know, guys. I guess we will never know. I got it. I got it. I will. I'll definitely do that. I'll definitely do that. All right, guys. So 2100. Wait, did hold on 1 second. Be wise. Gotcha. Gotcha. Hold on, let me check. So yeah, the total now is 21,016. 2116. 2,116. 2116. 2116 is the total that's going to Feisty. 2116. All right. We're G to G, guys. We are G to G. And so what that means, we got to get ready to say thank you. We got to get ready to say thank you. But I would be absolutely lying if I said that I was ready to say thank yous when I know for a fact that I need to potty, because that's a lot. And I know it's going to fuck me up. Ari, I just sent you an invite. Is Kobe gone? Where's Kobe? Did Kobe leave? Give me 1 second, Ari, sorry. Ari, I think I was pretty generous by giving them 8.5 minutes. I think right?
I think that was awesome.
See? Fucking generous. But they want to be selfish and try to say it was 8, but it wasn't. It wasn't. They were okay. Do better next time, chat. You guys are awesome. I say this all the time. Like we literally have the best community on TikTok, the best chat on TikTok, all across the board. All across the board. I fucking love you guys. Where are they at? Okay. Well, I invited them, but they're not here. Ari, I was gonna let you do pluggables while I ran to use the bathroom, if you didn't mind.
Yep, I got you.
Okay. Kay or I think Joanna's here, or whoever who has super mod. If Covey or Solid or any of them show back up and they hit the request, go ahead and let them up if I'm not standing here. But Ari, I'm going to give you the floor, and I'm going to step off for 2 seconds.
One, W in the chat for all of you guys. Like, I was listening. You guys did awesome. W community, W donos. You guys are fucking awesome. And listen. I'm always team chat. Okay. I'm always team chat. So if chat says it was 8 minutes, it was 8 minutes. Okay. always team. Yeah, okay. I understand. I was trying to hurry up and finish chewing because I have to teach in 10 minutes. Because my class I teach starts at 1. So I was trying to hurry up and shove food in my mouth before I have to teach because it's not good to be eating mid-class. Okay? Okay, count me some slack, please. But pluggables. So hi guys, I'm Ari. I run debates relegating to womanist topics, so Blackness, capitalism, patriarchy, sexism, you know, all that stuff. I hold my lives from 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. weekdays, and then around 11 o'clock on Saturdays, and Sundays are my day off because I'm now starting my master's degree and getting my master's in education, and so I save Sundays for laundry and classwork. So if you guys want to come catch me there, come catch me. Drop a follow. Also, I run a book club because our education system does a terrible job of addressing literacy and helping people build a healthy foundation and love literacy. They actually, I feel like they intentionally teach you to hate it to further spread white supremacy. So if you want to learn, you want to build that relationship with reading, I have a really chill, relaxed reading space that helps you build and cultivate that love reading, because the first step to being a reader is learning to love reading again and building that relationship. If you want to do that, my Discord is a chill space for that. Links in the bio, completely free Discord. All you gotta do is apply because we are anti-Nazis. And yes, I do apologize for my youngings because all the books we read in my book club is 21 plus. It's 21 plus because it's all about the violence of white supremacy. So sorry, friends, when you hit that 21, though, make sure you hit the links in the bio. All right, but that's it for me. Have fun, Santana. Bye.
Perfect. Thank you, Ari. W's in the chat for Ari. W's in the chat for Ari. Thank you, guys. I knew for a fact that I wouldn't be able to make it if I didn't go use the restroom. Because I got well over, I think we got like well over 120 names we're going to read. Like 120 W's to get through. So we're going to do it. 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 W's in the chat for HMF, who sent 17.99 ADE. I don't know what currency that is, but I appreciate the hell out of you. Said $3 for her if YouTube takes half. Oh yeah. That's why we said we can't send it through YouTube, but I'll add that in. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that. Let me check Twitch really quick. W's in the chat for Cool Cat, who did the say it with your chest, said AI sucks. I can do better than AI. At least you know if you put 6 figures. If I put 6 fingers, it's because I wasn't thinking. W's in the chat for Genify for the 30 bits for the emote. W's in the chat for Manders for the 1 chair bit to say if you had math faster, we would have beat 8 minutes. Nope, you guys wouldn't have because you didn't beat it. That was in chat from Mander for the 1 chair bit to say K is the boss. If K says 8 minutes, it's 8 minutes, and you can't take that away from us. No, K's not the boss. K's not the boss. Management's the boss. And she's not here right now. Oh well. I guess it's 8.5 minutes. Boom. W's in the chat for Manders, and then W's in the chat for Manders for the 1 chair bit to say K is the boss. You literally say that all the time. K said 8. Not in this situation. Not in this situation because K is siding with you. If K was siding with me, then I would agree. But since K is siding with you, you're wrong. And that's how it works. Zay, I'm not playing like, you know, I call it what it is. I call it what it is. Now, if K was to actually take my side, then K would be right. If K wants to actually defend me, then K would be right. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. All right, guys. There's a couple that came in. He said reverse psychology. There's a couple that came in prior to us actually doing this, but I wanted to go ahead and get the mutual aid going as quickly as possible. What in the world happened? Did someone kick my backup? If you did, you're a hater. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Hey guys, follow the backup to the backup. This is the backup to the backup. Follow that account right there. Follow this one. Hit that follow button. Plus, hit that follow button. All right, these came in prior to the actual mutual aid, so I need to read these off. Dubs in the chat for Kiera for the $20 donation, saying, thank you for recognizing that two men arguing about abortion is wrong in so many ways. I was pro-life until I had my first pregnancy and then delivered by emergency C-section, pro-choice ever since. Exactly. You know, the funny thing is about that is like pro-choice just means that like you think that people could make their own decisions. It's not saying that you agree or disagree. It's just like let people make their own decisions. Like that's what it is. Deb's in the chat for Francis for the $5 donation, saying, I'm sick of people using Jeremiah 1:5 as an argument about abortion. In the passage, God speak directly to Jeremiah and his path. There is no indication that it applies to anyone else. Fucking facts. Fucking facts. Deb's in the chat, Francis, for that one. Deb's in the chat for Aaron for the $2 donation, saying, Gabba trying to justify payment for a rape girl also condones human trafficking. Crazy work. Good work, both of you and Ari. Yeah, like this shit's silly. Like we do have to, can we all agree? Like for us to like even live by the premise of something that was created so long ago is absolutely asinine. But like some of the shit just doesn't even make sense. Some of it just literally doesn't make sense. W's in chat for Marie for the $1 donation, saying if I wasn't making a 2-hour drive from Birmingham, tag me in to introduce this child to my feminine rage. He apparently hasn't met her yet. I know that's fucking right, Marie. W's in the chat for Marie. Thank you so much for that. Holy shit. Holy shit. W's in chat for Alice. Alice in a $10 donation, saying Ari is cooking that guy, and my partner and I want her to know. I don't have Cash App. Can you send this to her? I got you. I got you. I will send that over. W's in the chat for Alice, who sent over a $10 donation. I'll definitely send that to. Wait, hold on. I'll send that $80. Yeah, W's in the chat for Alice for the $10 donation for Ari. I'll send that $8 over. That's right. Anyone else got that? You guys got that? Yeah, I said it. Anyway, all right. We are going to go ahead and say thank you to all the amazing donors. For those people that didn't get it, I hate explaining jokes, but whatever. The gender wage gap. It's the gender wage gap. That's why someone sent Ari 10 and I'm sending her 8. It's the gender wage gap. I hate explaining jokes, but sometimes I feel like it's necessary. He said, oh, yeah. See, sometimes you got to explain jokes. I don't like to, but sometimes you got to do it. Yeah. Not y'all saying, God damn it, Chad. You guys supposed to be quicker than that. Don't let me down. All right. So we're going to run through this and we're going to say thank you to all the people that donated. You guys got to be patient. It's over like 120 donations. If you want to hang out, you guys know you can hang out. If you don't want to hang out, you ain't got to hang out. But I got to do this because we got to do this. 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 So I'm not going to read off all the messages. I love you guys, but they're like I said, this is going to be over 120 thank yous. And if I did, then we'd be in trouble, or I could not be in trouble. I would be here for hours. I would be here for hours if I read out all the messages. So we're going to read off the names and we're going to get through this as quickly as possible. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Are we all locked in? Are we all locked in? W's in the chat for Sid for the $2 super chat. Say Bible said life begins in next breath. Facts. W's in the chat for Bella for becoming a late night tuber. W's in the chat for Naz, who became a late night tuber. I think we're all caught up there. Let me go back here. Okay. Oh wait, did I miss something? I did. W's in the chat for the Taffy Bot, who sent a $5 super chat to say W caller rare. W Manders, today is a good day. Yeah, today was a good day. Like, no bullshit. Oh, W's in the chat for Bella, who sent out 5 YouTube membership subscriptions. Let's fucking go. Today was a rare good day. W's in the chat for Manders, who sent 1 cheer bit to say, we're telling management. She won't believe you. She is not going to believe you guys, and she's also not going to take your side. That does nothing. She's not going to believe you. She's not going to take your side. So there's that. All right, guys. Let's get this thing started. W's in the chat for Lydia for the 15. W's in the chat for Marie for the 20. W's in the chat for Laura for the 20. W's in the chat for Seth for the $2.50. $2.50. W's in the chat for Aaron for the 20. W's in the chat for, dang it. Sorry, guys. Accidentally hit print. W's in the chat for Tess for the 40. W's in the chat for Tess for the $40 set for Feisty. Love from a fellow YouTube mod. W's in the chat for Tess. W's in the chat for G's for the 5. W's in the chat for Brooke. Brooke's in a $50 donation set for Feisty. Let's fucking go. W's in the chat for Rebecca for the 2. W's in the chat for Stacey for the 5. W's in the chat for Ryan for the $50 donation, Sam, for Feisty. You are fucking awesome. W's in the chat for Ryan. W's in the chat for Victoria for the 5. W's in the chat for Hannah for the 2. W's in the chat for Sarah for the 2. W's in the chat for Spice King for the 4. W's in the chat for, holy shit, Jenna. Jenna sent a $100 donation. Fucking W's in the chat for Jenna. Jenna sent a $100 donation set for Feisty. Well wishes for her and her mom in this hard time. Jenna, thank you so much. You are fucking amazing. That is crazy. W's in the chat for Jenna, guys. W's in the chat for Alex for the 2. W's in the chat for 20 for the 10. W's in the chat for Rachel for the 20. W's in the chat for Harry for the 10. What up, Harry? W's in the chat for Laura for the 5. W's in the chat for Michelle for the 25. W's in the chat for, holy shit, Virginia. Virginia sent 85. Virginia says, sending all my love to you, Feisty Bot. And then blue hearts and VA. W's in the chat for VA. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Tracy for the 2. W's in the chat for Taylor for the 5. W's in the chat for Misty for the 10. W's in the chat for B. What up, B? For the 5. W's in the chat for Janet for the 2. W's in the chat for Alejandro for the 2. W's in the chat for Malika for the 5. W's in the chat for Trey for the 2. W's in the chat for, holy shit, I think it's pronounced Alicia. Holy shit. Thank you, Alicia, for the $50 donation for Feisty. And you sitting blue hearts. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for the 50. W's in the chat for my bro Mike for the 5. W's in the chat for Elias for the 10. W's in the chat for Just Devin. Just Devin here for the 20. He said, for Feisty Fun, you're my favorite person and mod here. Big hugs and love you. W's in the chat for Just Devin. W's in the chat for all my mods. You guys are fucking awesome. W's in the chat for Samantha for the 10. W's in the chat for Rocky for the 5. W's in the chat for Stephanie for the 2. W's in the chat for Monique for the 10. W's in the chat for Ashley for the 5. W's in the chat for David for the 20. W's in the chat for Valerie for the 20. W's in the chat for Luis for the 2. W's in the chat for Aliana for the 5. W's in the chat for Chantel for the 25. For mutual, hey, thank you. W's in the chat for Zoe for the 25. From my sister and I. Shout out to you and your sister. W's in the chat for Brittany for the 2. W's in the chat for Kara for the 10. W's in the chat for Jared for the 20. W's in the chat for Brianna for the 4. W's in the chat for Jessica for the 10. W's in the chat for Tracy for the 10. You said Tracy sent a $10 donation, said for 5 other people. Tracy, you are fucking awesome. Thank you. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Brittany for the $50. Brittany said, I don't get paid for another 2 days, but I'm willing to dip into my savings for Feisty. Love you both, Brittany. That is crazy kind. That is crazy kind. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Brittany. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Brittany. Thank you. W's in the chat for Michelle for the 5. W's in the chat for Jessica for the 6. W's in the chat for Jordy for the 4. W's in the chat for Christine for the 5. W's in the chat for Ashley for the 10. W's in the chat for Courtney for the 2. W's in the chat for Virtual Tech Assistant for the 20. W's in the chat for Janelle for the 2. W's in the chat for Megan for the 6. W's in the chat for Kelly for the 5. W's in the chat for Christina for the 5. W's in the chat for Brianna for the 2. W's in the chat for Clark for the 20. W's in the chat for Kelly. Holy shit, Cowbell. W's in the chat for Cowbell for the $100 donation. Cowbell said feisty, heart hands, Cowbell. W's in the chat for Cowbell. Holy shit, $100. That's crazy. My mods, you guys are the fucking best. W's in the chat for Tamir for the 10. W's in the chat for Hannah for the 2. W's in the chat for Montel for the 2. What up, Canada? W's in the chat for Elizabeth for the 10. W's in the chat for Joseph for the 2. W's in the chat for Wendy for the 5. W's in the chat for Jacqueline for the 5. W's in the chat for Laura for the $37.95. Let's fucking go. Laura said, feisty, I hope she gets the help she needs. Bless her, Lori. Thank you so much, Lori. You are fucking amazing. W's in chat for Rebecca for the 5. W's in chat for Bethany for the 10. W's in chat for Sally for the 20. W's in chat for Justina for the 5. W's in chat for Peggy for the 20. W's in chat for Brownin for the 20. W's in the chat for Miss Sarabella. What up, Miss Sarabella, for the $50 donation. Miss Sarabella says, sending feisty bot love. W's in the chat. Miss Sarabella, you are fucking awesome and appreciate it. I love having you a part of our community. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Kara for the 5. W's in the chat for Tracy for the 2. W's in the chat for Naomi for the 10. W's in the chat for Emily for the 10. W's in the chat for Fallon for the 5. W's in the chat for Patricia for the 5. W's in the chat for Hannah for the 10. W's in the chat for Crystal for the 5. W's in the chat for Irene. What up, Irene? W's in the chat for Irene for the $40 donation saying mutual aid. Shout outs to Irene. W's in the chat for Sam for the 5. W's in the chat for Heather for the 10. W's in the chat for Johnson Tittle for the 5. What up, bro? W's in the chat for Brandy for the 7. W's in the chat for Steve for the 25 for feisty. W's in the chat for EE for the 3. W's in the chat for Melissa for the 5. W's in the chat for Brian for the 2. W's in the chat for Manders for the 2. W's in the chat for holy shit, Jenny. Jenny sent a one mighty pen. I see you. What up, twin? One mighty pen sent a $50 donation saying feisty, sending all the good vibes to you. Love you. One mighty pen. Fucking W's, rare W's. I'm just fucking with you. W's in the chat for one mighty pen. One mighty pen holds down Twitch each and every day. Fucking W's in the chat for one mighty pen. Like, seriously. W's in the chat for Patricia for the 5. W's in the chat for Kara for the 10. W's in the chat for Romana for the 5. W's in the chat for Nazir for the 3. W's in the chat for Debbie for the 2. W's in the chat for Hannah for the 5. And then Hannah sent another 5 and said, just because you said stop. You're so hard-headed. Holy smokes. Where am I? Okay, I'm here. W's in the chat for Angela for the 5. W's in the chat for Just Devin for the 5. You guys said Just Devin here again. Just another 5 for the fabulous feisty fun. Stop, you say? You're not my dad. You're not my dad. And you can't tell me what to do. W's in the chat for Just Devin. W's in the chat for Lois for the 126. And then followed up by another 126. I appreciate you. You guys aren't getting banana merch. Stop it. W's in the chat for Rachel for the 10. W's in the chat for Be Wise for the 16. And W's in the chat for Tracy for the 5. And then Tracy sent another 5. We're going to put this in with that as well. But said, Santana, thank you for all that you do as a 59-year-old white woman. You've opened my eyes to things I've never considered and learned so much from listening to you. I look forward to learning more. Keep being amazing. Tracy, thank you so much. That literally that means the world to me. Fucking W's in the chat for Tracy. That's like awesome. Fucking awesome. I don't know what that is. We got a few more over here on the Cash App. We got some on the Cash App. mm, 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 mm. So you're working with some. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I got these all blown out. I think we're G to G. Okay, all right. W's in the chat for Danella for the 2. And W's in the chat for Boss Lady Fun. What up, Boss Lady Fun? For the $5, Boss Lady Fun is mod, so I got to read this out. Feisty, I've been there before. It'll get better. W's in chat for Boss Lady Fun. I appreciate the fuck out of you. W's in the chat for J Hops for the $250 donation. Holy fuck. J Hops said for Feisty. W's in the chat. Fucking hell, J Hops. That is crazy. That is crazy. W's in chat for Felicia for the 10. W's in chat for Katrina for the 5. W's in chat for Jessica for the 4. W's in chat for Zachary for the 3. W's in chat for Benjamin for the 5. W's in chat for Just Purple or Judy Purple. Holy smoke, sorry, for the 2. W's in chat for Alexis for the $100. Alex said, I said Alexis. I'm sorry. I said Alex. I meant Alexis. I meant I'm getting tongue-tied, guys. Sorry. Give me a second. Let me collect myself. Sorry. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good, chat. All right. Alex, not Alexis. Alex. W's in the chat for Alex for the $100 set for Feisty. Let's fucking go. W's in chat for Vicky for the 5. W's in chat for Danielle for the 10. W's in the chat for Michael for the $50 donation. Michael said for Feisty. W's in the chat for Terry for the 25. W's in the chat for William for the 3. W's in the chat for Nee, I think that's how you pronounce it, for the 2. W's in the chat for Yaya. Yaya sent a $25 donation. W's in the chat. Yes, we are going to say thank you, Yaya. You're going to take these thanks. W's in the chat for Aubrey for the 10. W's in the chat for Juliet for the 10. W's in the chat for Molly for the 10. W's in the chat for Tiffany for the 30. W's in the chat for Matthew for the 2. W's in the chat for Bianca for the 15. W's in the chat for Joanna for the 2. What up, Joanna? Got to read this off because Joanna's a mod. Joanna sent 2 and said for Feisty. Fucking W's in the chat for Joanna. W's in the chat for Jeffrey for the 2. W's in the chat for Sarah for the 5. W's in the chat for Janet for the 5. W's in the chat for Tori for the 2. W's in the chat for Michelle for the 2. W's in the chat for Marianne for the 10. W's in the chat for Tammy for the 5. W's in the chat for Kitstu? Holy smokes. I know I'm messing this up. Sorry. I think it's pronounced Kitstu, who sent a 10. W's in the chat for Frank for the 2. W's in the chat for I'm gonna call you Chambers. Sorry. W's in the chat for Chambers for the 20. W's in the chat for Malik for the 10. W's in the chat for Marion for the 5. W's in the chat for Michelle for the 10. W's in the chat for Crystal for the 3. W's in the chat for Isaiah. I'm so sorry. Isaiah for the 2. W's in the chat for Kathleen for the 10. W's in the chat for Shannon for the 20. W's in the chat for Joel for the 5. W's in the chat for She Loves Sauce. Hey, not a Karen. W's in the chat for not a Karen. W's in the chat for She Loves Sauce for the 2. W's in the chat for Thomas for the 2. W's in the chat for Mandy for the 5. W's in the chat for Look, Listen, Hear, The Thing for the 25. W's in the chat for Audrey for the 5. W's in the chat for John for the 10. W's in the chat for Lee for the 5. W's in the chat for Z Stitch for the 10. W's in the chat for Miss Mariposta for the 5. W's in the chat for Marlene for the 5. W's in the chat for Big J for the 10. And W's in the chat for Jermaine for the 4. Holy shit, guys. We did it. No, it had a Z in it. I thought it wasn't Isaiah, like Z-I-O. I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Not that great with names. I apologize. Sorry. Guys. Oh, W's in the chat for. Holy shit, what is that? Elaine, holy fuck. W's in the chat for that. That was dope. Holy shit. That was cute. Zio, I don't think that was their name. W's in the chat for Ben Young for the $10 super chat. I appreciate the hell out of you. Are we caught up everywhere? W W's in the chat for Manders for the one chair bit to say One Mighty Pen is the absolute Twitch GOAT. We love her here. No BS. We do. W's in the chat for Marlene for the 2 says, sorry, I was late to the live. All good, Marlene. I will add that additional 2. So that means that now, guys, again, for anyone that didn't get to hear the story, I'll tell this one more time. Feisty Bot, who is one of our community members, one of the people that day in, day out show up and help protect our community, that participates in our space, that does all the wonderful things to ensure that we can continue to learn and grow and be better together. She deals with her own medical issues, but her mom had to be placed in hospice. And the day that her mom had to be placed in hospice was the day that they cut off the actual financial support for hospice care. And so her and her family have been at the same time trying to ensure the end of life treatment for her mom. And she also, since she deals with those medical issues herself, she is in danger of being unhoused. And so she came to us as a community member saying like, hey, can we help? And we absolutely did. We absolutely did. And you guys showed up and showed out and showed why we are a community that is built off supporting, loving, growing, and caring for each other. And that means the world to me. I appreciate the hell out of you. And we were looking to raise $2,000 in a span of 8 minutes. In a span of 8 minutes, you guys were able to raise a grand total of $2,118. In 8 minutes, when a community member needed help, you guys took 8 minutes to not only meet what was needed, but exceed what was needed. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. Like I said, transparency will be had. Once I finish up the live, I'm going to be sending over this $2,118 directly to Feisty. And then once I send that money over to Feisty, I will be posting the receipts in the Discord. If you are not in the Discord and you want to ensure that the money was sent over like we said it was going to be sent over, you can reach out to Kay, and Kay will ensure that you get an actual receipt. We believe in transparency here. One of the reasons that we're able to continue to do this and to continue to help each other out and continue to actually be like people that push for the actual needs of others ahead of ourselves is because we believe in transparency. We believe in proof. And the fact that we're willing to actually show that we do the things that we're going to say is super important. So the receipts will be in the Discord. And if you're not in the Discord, hey, fucking stop it, Rocky. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, Rocky. Somebody mute Rocky. Somebody mute Rocky. The receipts will be in the Discord. And if you're not a part of the Discord, you can absolutely get access to that. I just want to say one more time how much I love and appreciate you guys. You guys make it so much easier getting on here day in, day out, and being a part of this amazing community. I truly, truly mean this. You guys are so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am the luckiest person on earth to be able to share space with so many wonderful people. So there's that. Now, one last thing. Tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Late Nights with Santana is back. Now, we're having late nights 2 nights, right? Tonight and tomorrow night. And the reason why we're not doing like a whole 4 night is because we're rolling back into late nights. And next week it's going to be back and you guys are going to get the whole thing, no pause, right? But tonight and tomorrow night, it's about us. Tonight and tomorrow night, it's about us. So if you're interested, join us tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to have a community event. I want to talk to you guys about a couple of different things. I want to hear your voices. I want to know your positions. I want to just check on you and see how you're doing, right? I think that's a big thing. taking people's temperature and pulse. I mean, like, things are absolutely insane today, and having the opportunity to actually speak and like have your voices heard and share it with the people within your community, I think that's super important. So tonight and tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana, we will be having community night. And then next week, the work starts back, guys. The work starts back. Next week, we have, I'm still pushing around the idea for the topic, and I might even open it up and let you guys vote for it or give me some suggestions. But I got a couple of things that I feel like we need to address as a community, especially because I feel like our community has grown so many ways that a lot of people may not have a full understanding of a couple of different things. So I might open it up and let you guys vote on the topic, or I might let you guys recommend the topic. But regardless, tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. It is community night for the next 2 nights, and it's going to be about you. So if you want your voice heard, if you want to join, if you want to like actually address some things or whatever, we're going to do it together. All right. Is everybody good? We G to G? We G to G, chat? What did Solid say? Spar with late night brunches. We just having some fun. God damn it, Solid. God damn it, Solid. Oh, man. All right, guys. I think we are G to G. I think we're G to G. All right. No, we can't talk about bananas. No. Like, no banana talk. Serious, guys. No banana talk. You guys start talking about bananas, you're getting kicked. You start talking about bananas, you are getting kicked. I forewarned you. I forewarned you. All right. I think we're good. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, guys. Let's go.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat. Guys, you guys were fucking amazing today. I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being such a wonderful community. Thank you for caring. Like, that care is at an all-time low. Intelligence is as well. Critical thinking is as well. But care is at an all-time low, and you guys care, and that means so much. It really does. Thank you. Thank you all for gifts, taps, likes, and shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all for being amazing. Thank you all for being you. I love you all, and as always,